We'll be back at 2 o'clock. See you guys later.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. What is up, beautiful people? How about you guys? Like, yo, I'm here. Welcome to How to Trade, formerly known as that Midday Show. That is your boy, Joe. And I'm Sharif. And we're going to wait for everyone to come on over from the other stream. Shout out to Nimit, small cap trader extraordinaire, baby. There's some running today, Nimit. We're going to get to those in a second. Shout out to Scott H., another small cap gapper trader, Juan Padilla. We got pattern day trader, not pattern day trading rule. Big difference there. Matthew Booth, shout out to the OG Gorov, Jeremy, MB3, the Piper, Hey Davis, why not? The Badger joining us as well. Big Spile, Big Style. He is all Big Cal, Burdette, Fiddlebeck, John Knox, and Botrix, Yannick as well. Not that Yannick, not Sweater Yannick, a different Yannick. We got my main man, Adam DeLuce, and Random as well. Blue Arrow, Huri, 2S, and Rob EV. What day would it be without Mary S. Lyman as well? Shout out to her. Jeremy Crypto, GTKC, Chris Ivy, Leroy Brown. I like these new names. Sean Drake, Adrian Petraeus. We got K Debs as well. Fernando Valley Drops, Family Garden. And we got E Lemon Musk, not Elon, E Lemon, Fabian. We got Stock Up as well. G Van De Way and Connie. Shout out to Connie as well. Lots of new names today in the chat. I see Nessa. I see you, Nessa. Lots of new names today.
Yeah,
good morning, Joe.
The guys in the chat are asking if we just came straight from the club to the desk.
Oh, yeah, because we're all in the dark shirts today.
Yeah, we're looking fresh today, apparently. So good stuff there, brother.
How's everything, Joseph?
Good, brother. Good. You know, what an absolute day in the market. We got Microsoft just starting to pick up some steam as well as Google. So those big boys are really starting to get it rolling.
Absolutely. Anything you want to discuss before we jump into the lesson?
Of course. We're going to touch on a little something quick here, guys. And that is Microsoft. This thing is absolutely starting to break these ranges. And I'm pretty sure that we were talking about this the other day. This thing has been lagging its peers. It's not quite near the all-time highs like Apple and Nvidia. So don't underestimate Microsoft here and expect these guys to slowly start to catch up to the rest of the overall market. And with that, that is going to push the Qs to all-time highs if it hasn't already, guys. So keep your eye out on this. And we were talking about Google as well yesterday, and that V-shaped pattern that I was referring to that I noticed on Tesla and now Google. So guys, this is absolutely looking fantastic. If we break 167.90s or 160, we'll call it 170, call it 170 flat, I definitely think this thing is going to start to pick up a little bit of steam and continue to the north side, brother. What do you got going?
Yes, sir. We're going to jump into the lesson quickly, but I want to mention a level that Derek called out here before we started on the show. 3M, we all know that 3M reported today. It was initially a good look. Now it's down 2%, but there is a level of note here. $131 is a double bottom that's manifested here. The neckline is a little bit higher. It's about $134. We're taking out the 10 exponential now on the 5, on 3M. You know, this is obviously a spready name, but it's not nearly as bad as some of these other ones. We got about 6 pennies right now, which is not even that bad, quite frankly. Keep your eye out on this one. Good double bottom, literally to the T. This one did breach momentarily at around 1045, breaching that 131, but for all intents and purposes, it did hold, and that 134 is the neckline. Yeah, I guess, you know, if you're a more conservative trader, you're taking the neckline break. If you're more risk you're taking that 131, baby. And so somebody's already $1 plus in the money. Shout out to Adair for calling that one out. I do appreciate that. Now, let's get into the lesson du jour. We're talking about island gaps. Nobody knows what that's from.
They know what it's from. Everybody knows where that's from.
Dude, last time people didn't know who the Island Boys were. And probably for... I have no idea who they are. The Katina man has no idea who the Island Boys are, nor does he want to know.
You're not missing out on anything.
You're not missing out, Katina man. Trust me on that one. Nice hat, by the way. All right, let's get to it. Today, traders, we'll delve, into the lesson, into a less common but intriguing gap pattern known as the island gap. This unique formation can offer us valuable insights into potential market behavior. So let's get right to it and explain what an island gap is. An island gap is characterized by a gap in the price chart that is surrounded by empty trading on both sides. I promise I'll show you what that looks like in a second. Essentially, it appears as an island of open price bars isolated from the rest of the price action. So I won't keep you in suspense any longer. There we go. We've got this over here, 6-candle formation is ensconced by water. No, I'm kidding. By basically empty space from the breakout area to the breakdown area. We'll explain what this island gap means in the price action in a second, but this is how it's depicted now. In this particular example, you've got a 6-candle pattern. I'll submit to you on Apple at that initial 237 touch, we had a 2-island gap pattern if we remove the pre-market and aftermarket data, because again, from our conversation on gaps, those skew gap analysis. And have a look at this. This is the 2-candle island gap on Apple that we printed July 15th and July 16th, and we all know what happened there. We dropped from 237 to the low of 196 within about 10 trading days or so. So this is kind of what it looks like IRL. I'll zoom in a little bit over here, where this is a 2-candle island gap pattern. The one we have on the screen is 6. There's no hard and fast rule for how many there has to be. And over here as well, you kind of see that it's even more. It's about, what is this? About 6 or 7 or 8 candle pattern surrounded by nothing from the breakout area to the breakdown area. That's what we mean when we're talking about island gaps. And yeah, there's the Apple example that I just showed you guys. So the formation of an island gap. So to form an island gap, the following conditions must be met. I'll give you 3. You have to have a gap up or down, obviously, occurs, creating space in the chart between it and the previous price action. The price retraces, though, to fill the initial gap, creating a second gap, essentially, on the opposite side of the original gap. The price then moves away from the filled gap, leaving it isolated like an island, right? So why are they significant? Why are we talking about them? So island gaps can indicate a significant shift in market sentiment or the underlying conditions, and they often signal a potential trend reversal or continuation, but mostly reversals depending on the accompanying price action. So this is important because they're basically anomalies that take place. So bullish was the news initially that it gapped up, but the market quickly changed its sentiment. That's what that island gap is telling you. A new piece of data, new information came into the market that had a radical change in how the market views that particular instrument. Because remember, they were previously bullish or bearish, because it works both ways, so the long side and the downside. Then all of a sudden it changed. Well, that's basically a significant shift in market sentiment that we need to be aware of, okay? So how do we identify these reversals or the continuation patterns? Let's talk about the reversals first. Determining whether an island gap signals a reversal or continuation requires a careful analysis of the subsequent price action and technical indicators. Let's talk about the reversal signals. Let's talk about island gaps as reversal patterns before we get into the continuation portion. So a breakdown below the lower gap for an upward gap, or breakout above the upper gap for a downward gap, often suggests a potential reversal. Increased trading volume as well should accompany the breakout or breakdown, works both ways, which can strengthen, obviously, the reversal signal. And you should be looking at momentum oscillators like RSI, like MACD. What are they showing you? Are they showing you price action oscillator divergence, where the price action is continuing to make higher highs or lower highs, and the RSI or the MACD showing you something else? So have a look at what the momentum oscillators specifically are showing you around that island gap pattern. Now let's talk about them as continuation signals, right? A continued move in the direction of the original gap or the initial gap suggests a possible trend continuation. So we can get that anomaly, we can get that island gap, but what if that downward gap on a long move gets filled? So for example, let's bring in Apple again over here. So say for example, we put this 2-candle island gap pattern, but 4 or 5 days later, we're filling that gap super quick. So it's really about how quickly the gap gets filled, the downward gap on an up move, that really determines whether or not this is going to be a continuation or reversal pattern. I mean, this one, you could obviously make the case, we still haven't filled that. Well, we have actually. I think we did fill that gap. Yeah, we did. We did, but we did it sometime later. So we printed this gap in mid-July, and the gap wasn't filled until this candle over here, August 15th. So literally 3 months later, almost to the day, because that was on the 15th, and this is on the 15th as well. I actually didn't realize that. So that's super interesting there. So increased trading volume as well should be accompanying the continuation move, which can strengthen the signal. Indicators, again, like RSI or MACD showing alignment with the price trend can also confirm that continuation. So how do we trade these island gaps? Like, what's the move here? So first of all, let's talk about the entry. Consider entering a long position after the pullback to the upper gap for an uptrend, or a short position, again, works both ways, after a pullback to the lower gap for a downtrend. Your stop loss key as well. You should be placing your stop loss order below the lower gap for long positions or above the upper gap for short positions. You know you're not wrong until that low of the gap gets filled. Profit targets as well, super important. Use your TA like using your Fibonacci's, no, I'm kidding, Fibonacci retracements or extensions to identify these potential price targets. And basically, we'll stop here for a second and we'll continue this when, oh, we have Adara, perfect timing. Adara, get it.
Here, yeah, so ALTR and CDNS on watch. I'm seeing some tweeting here that Altair Engineering, ATLR, is exploring a sale after attracting some takeover interest. So potentially, I guess, takeover involving CDNS, that's Cadence Design. Keep an eye on ALTR. Still under 1 million shares. We just got that pop, but up about 7%, and definitely on watch.
Thank you very much for that. Adara, Joe, what you got going on over there?
Yeah, brother, I'm just over here looking at Google. I'm waiting for Google to set up. It's actually VRO Trades asked me exactly that. He said, what are you looking to get in here, Joe? And I said, you know what, I'm still looking at Google. And Davey Trades, or Dave asked me as well, too, in the chat. And I said, you know what, I'm just waiting for Google to set up here right now. Let me pull up my Google chart for you guys, because it is sitting exactly where I want it to. Guys, you can see this absolutely monstrous opening drive for the first hour of the session, or half hour of the session. Google went on a monstrous run with Microsoft. So we're looking to play a second leg in this trade. This is something that I'm really liking here for this potential setup. We have the dwindling volume as price, is coming to the downside. So with that lax in volume, I'm looking for any buyers to step in and consider taking this price above 165 for a second leg to the top side. Now, from a daily perspective, I was mentioning this earlier before Sharif got into his lesson. I'm liking Google here on this V-shaped pattern. This is something that I've been looking out for. And if it can break the 68, the 170 levels, I think that Google can start trading a lot higher and continue to the northeast on that northeast trajectory, all right? So that's something that I'm waiting for. I'm going to wait just a little bit longer before I get into this trade. But as long as we hold this on low volume, Sharif, I'm absolutely looking to get into this stuff here, guys. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at Triple M as well, too, so Mo, but I really like this setup here. I'm waiting for this. I'm looking for this strength in Google, because after this antitrust, the stock has been relatively weak. So I think it's only a matter of time, because essentially its fundamentals still aren't hindered. It hasn't been broken up, so everything is still intact with this stock. So I think this is something that hey, you're looking to buy the dip. It's something on a stock like this with Google and Microsoft, because they have been lagging their peers. I mentioned this earlier. Nvidia is at all-time highs now. Apple is just below all-time highs. The Qs are just below all-time highs as well, too. So look for these. If we're going to continue to the northeast, look for these stocks to start picking up a little bit of steam here and continue to the north side. So as you can see, guys, the Qs is not quite at the all-time highs, which is totally fine. But I think that once Microsoft and Google start going, this is inevitable. This will eventually breach and break. So, Sharif, we got a $2 super chat, brother. What's your thoughts on INDP? Let's take a look here.
One second.
You got it, yep.
INDP. All right, let's have a look at INDP. Always
Sharif
love.
with an S.
Oh, it's okay.
No,
I'll block him after. No worries.
yeah. So you're done.
I'm kidding.
You're gone.
INDP. Okay, so let's have a look at this, Joe. How many shares have we traded today? 3.2 on a dollar name. I already don't like it. Okay, because that's very light unless it's a new one just showing up now. If this has been trading since the pre, then okay, it has been trading since the pre. It had some zig and zag there. Look, man, this is just lightly traded. It's trading below the volume weighted average price. That's the bad side. Well, no, there's more bad side. The range per candle awfully wide as well when you consider the price. Take, for example, this candle at 10 a.m., $1.72 low and 207 high. What's going on here, right? And then the range per candle is huge percentage of the price if you were to compare to the other. The good side is we're putting a symphony of higher lows in, but you're going to have to get somewhere near the lows because if you're punching in at the highs, you've been made to pay. Look how many topping tail candles, specifically through $2. We'll talk more about this when we get back from Adara. What do you got for us, Adara?
TSLA just slammed into new lows here. Look at this 15-minute candle. That was actually also a bit of a pickup in volume compared to the more recent candles. When you look at it zoomed out, it looks like just a continuation of the downtrend, but be aware, TSLA trying to hold on here just below 216 after a pretty weak start to this midday session, guys.
It's out lows, that's no good. Yeah, so to basically build on that, it's got to do a lot more volume than it is right now. Otherwise, it's going to be a tough one, a tough sell for me. It's also got to get above VWAP. So that's the look right now on this one. Now, with respect to PHUN, I got in, I took a 20 penny winner super quick, got stopped out for a 10 penny loser on the remaining amount. This one not ready to break out quite yet. The reason I weaseled into Funware, well, it's up big on the day, which is good, obviously. Oh my goodness, let's go into this. There we go. Sorry guys, just gotta fix this. There we go. All right. And we did a VWAP hold there, and then I was watching the book on this one, and there was a seller of note at 40. We took out that seller, so I was able to get in quick as you like after that 40 bake. Weaseled up into 75. I put my next peak wetter at 88. It didn't give it to me. Now, what I do like, though, is it's generally doing that VWAP hold. And we've talked about this kind of trade before, where it's a VWAP hold, a high of daybreak. If this one wants to straddle VWAP and respect it during the low liquidity time, which is the midday show, I'll build a position in and around VWAP. Again, that's all predicated on actually holding the level. We'll keep an eye on Funware. There's plenty of others, though, Joe. Absolutely. HOWL, baby. Look how directional this bad boy is. And here are the details on, $160 million market cap. We got about 3.5 million shares traded today. That's really the only drawback here. 3.5 million shares on a $3 name. Yeah. 40 million share float, about 40 3/4 actually, if I'm being honest. And let's find out what the short float is. 3.42%. We already checked this bad boy yesterday, so we'll keep tabs on this one. Not the biggest short float I've ever seen, but it's got a nice directional move here. Let's do some charting. Let's figure out where we could encounter resistance. We're breaking through a lot of levels, guys. The 50, the 200, they've all been breached, but look at this. We've got a nice definable trough over here from back in May that we can use as a potential brick wall, a resistance area. I'm going to submit to you it's at 4 1/3 to 4 1/4. Look at that. And then you had some more interactions with that general level earlier than that as well. So HOWL, I love this until about that 4 1/3, 4 1/4. That's, of course, predicated on taking out 4. Joe, we know the whole dollar level can act as resistance.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic stuff, Sharif. And you know what? I think Google's starting to set up a little bit here for me. So it looks like the price is starting to slowly curl back around, and that's something that I want to see. We might have to give it a little bit more time here, but as you can see, we are starting to hold here. We're starting to form somewhat of a small base, and this is exactly what I want to see here with Google. So one thing that I want to point out with this is that it's really key. If I'm entering here, I now have a definitive stop, right? So if I break the low of this pullback, then I know I got to get out of my position, guys. So you know what we're going to do here?
What are you going to do?
Sharif, we're going to get into a little bit of this
I love
Google
it.
here, my friend. Just a little bit of small size because we don't want to try to catch too much of it. I'm not saying it's a fallen knife, but it is slowly pulling back. So I really needed to see it to hold this 164.60 level and continue back through the volume weighted average price. I mean, IBIT is absolutely pulling back now. 3M is starting to curl back around, and the overall market is starting to pull back a little bit. So we'll see with this one. We might need to take a stab or two at it to see whether it's going to continue to the northeast side, but we're going to hold. We got a good price. We're in it exactly where we want to, so we're going to hold. And like I said, we have a definitive out. I'm only in a little bit of small size here, so if it continues to work and we continue north of the volume-weighted average price, then we're going to definitely add some more shares into this one, Sharif, brother. And we had someone trolling us in the chat. They said, "Who works out more, you or me?" So
well, we don't gotta go far.
No, I know we don't gotta go far. You know what I mean? So I gave that one to you. I gave you the W.
No, I'm not gonna just take a dub like that. You're not gonna assign me a dub,
I'm
Joe.
assigning the W. I'm assigning the W. That's it. End of conversation. But hey, we're still in the gym, guys.
That's sick, bro. So, I love this guy.
Yeah. So no, you got the W on that one. So we like that one. Hey, Sharif, Joe, do you guys have any news on? Okay, yeah. So guys, Sharif, in the chat, people are going on about the weed stocks,
yes, sir.
like Canopy Growth Corp and everything. So we're gonna look into that for you guys right now. Canopy Growth Corp. What way back, was it 2017, 2018, had an absolute blast owning. I didn't trade. I wasn't day trading at that time, but I owned a significant and absolutely imbalanced amount of Canopy Growth Corp. So I will give it to that. And I had it absolutely like a ridiculous price around $7, and I held it all the way through to 60 or to 55, whatever it was. So that was absolutely amazing. But yeah, we're gonna take a look into.
I don't see nothing. Adara, do we have anything on weed? She's looked. She can't find anything.
So she's so I mean the overall market is relatively strong today, guys. So I mean a little bit of sector rotation. I don't even know if you want to call that, but breadth in the overall market is looking like it's starting to widen out, and hence why things may be starting to pop up a little bit. So the weed stocks may seem a little bit in play, but man, have they absolutely been decimated from the all-time high. So did Canopy Growth Corp do a reverse split?
I'm literally looking at it. There's like nothing coming in. But anyway, I think we got a weasel to Adara. She's at the green screen.
Yeah, there you go. I didn't hear that.
It's worth noting here, not only was I not seeing anything in terms of news on weed, but even these cannabis stocks usually get a lot more social media attention. I wasn't seeing much of that either. So bit of a not seeing really any reason for that, but I will continue to look into it. Now we're going to take our segment where we look at the larger movers in the S&P 500 to the upside and the downside. The theme for today is going to be earnings names moving lower. We do have our earnings segments. We're going to talk about some different ones there, but here are some names we definitely haven't looked at yet today, including PACCAR, PCAR. They actually beat here across the board for earnings per share and for sales. Not seeing any reason as to why they're down, but they are down about 5% on that earnings reaction. SHW, however, Sherwin-Williams, bit of a clearer picture as to why there's downside. They missed on earnings per share, and they also missed here on sales for Q3 2024. Last but not least, Nucor, NUE. They reported after the bell yesterday, continuing to push lower here, down about 7%. They beat on EPS and for sales, but they also said they're expecting their Q4 earnings per share to decline due to some decreased earnings in their steel mill segment. So steel mill earnings leading the guidance for NUE to the downside. And make sure if these or any other tickers you're looking at, get in that chat and vote, ! Join, space, $, and your ticker of choice. However, it is a subscribers only chat, so make sure you like and subscribe.
Thank you so much for that, Adara. Yeah, man, CGC squeezing here, guys. This is a good look, Joe. We're up 10 3/4. We're knock on the door of 484 right now. There's that big boy move, guys. I'm scanning all my wheat stocks for the news blotters on all of them. I'm not getting anything. As soon as we get something, we're gonna let you know. But it's interesting. It's interesting because it's not something that you usually.
No.
Well, we got it. We got the pump last time. Remember when she debated Mike Pence, Kamala Harris, in that VP debate? The next day, dude.
The next day, big pump, right?
Big pop.
So big. Scott Steiner.
Hey, that dude was, he looked natural, right?
Yeah, those guys are all natural. I don't know. They're in the gym all the time. That's it.
Good
Those guys are definitely all natural. No, our buddy Greg mentioned MSOS, so that's something U.S. Cannabis is looking like there. So good look out there on that one there, Greg. Guys, listen. This Google is not doing what I want it to do, but we are holding this base, Sharif. We are forming absolutely around 164.61. We're holding that to the penny, so we're going to continue holding it. But once we breach that, guys, we're out of it. So if we hold here, then we're going to be sitting real pretty in Suntan City. Yeah, Greg, I know you want to see some closes above that. So yeah, good luck there on that one on MSOS. Guys, keep talking. No news on CGC. No, we have Adara on, and Adara is usually going to find something.
Yeah.
Too. So we're going to keep our eyes out. Maybe something will drop, but I just said maybe it's just market breadth. I don't know. Maybe eventually everything's depleted, so they kind of get memey once in a while and continue to pump to the top side. But yeah, we're just here. Shreve, we're going to hold this a little bit, but what do you got going on there, bro?
I got a couple of positions now. I wet my beak here on some profits on APLD. Only reason is I got into this one. This one weaseled into the volume weighted average price, and it's been awfully respectful of that name. Look at that double bottom right on VWAP right there. Got in, wet my beak. Now I'm looking for something near the highs. I'm not going to hold into like 948 or anything like that, but generally looking, for somewhere in and around here. So APLD involved in that. I also weaseled into CGC. I'm like, all right, it's not at the highs yet. No, I'm kidding. I'm smaller position here. If this thing wants to squeeze, we'll take it north, maybe to test that $5 area. I won't give it too much room. We're gonna have to, we'll have to give it to like about 70 or so. It is getting a little bit extended right now. I don't mind adding near that $4.70 area, but I'm gonna have to give it, we'll give it like a few pennies, give or take, in and around that area. CGC up 10.83. Let me show you what else is up in marijuana land over here. The highest of the lands. Let's see. Let's bring this one in. So here's what I'm looking at in terms of weed names. I've got CGC. You got Grow Generations. You got Tilray, CRON. As your boy was saying, Greg, MSOS. And there's MSOX as well, which is the triple levered weed ETF. You have Cureleaf. You've got some others. I know I don't have the most exhaustive weed watch list, but those are some that you can get into if you're interested there. So keeping my eye on APLD, keeping my eye on CGC. I've also got Donald John Trump on watch over here. It's been awfully respectful, Joe, of the 10 exponential moving average. It did bamboozle you in a 2-candle setup over here at 1020 and 1025, but look at this. I love when this happens. So I wouldn't have been trying to take a dip trade here, but I would have been aware of this level. This is the pre-market top, the area in the pre-market that we kind of kept rejecting off. Funny enough, once we cleared it after the bell, we came back in and tested that pre-market top, that general, not 340, let's say 350 area. You got a 2-candle holdup, and then we started making new highs and new lows, with that 10 exponential moving average acting as a good area of support. So I'm interested certainly in what's it called? CGC, or sorry, DJT, if it is to set up a little bit better than it is right now, Joe.
Yep, good stuff there. We're taking a second entry here on Google, guys. I said what I was going to do on the first one, and that's exactly why we got out. We broke that flat bottom there, but then we're going to punch right back in because I like this candle here with a little bit of an isolated volume signature. So it does look like we can continue to the top side. And the same thing, if it breaks, I'm out. But as of right now, it's looking like we're starting to pump a little bit to the top side. So maybe we're starting to curl over a little bit, and maybe we go and retest VWAP, and that's where I'll look to take a little bit more off the top there, guys. I had someone in the chat say, Joe, can you look at VZ? Absolutely. They reported this morning, gap down, but has since recovered, which is absolutely fantastic for this stock. One thing that I like about it is the gap down. You've now entered this gap here and slowly starting to fill it. And we're not going to say that it's going to fill through the intraday session, but that's something that you can potentially look at and then look to play as this gap is breached and held, and you can continue to the northeast side. I didn't look too much into their earnings. I think they did miss on revenue. I think, Shreve, correct me if I'm wrong.
Who?
So, Verizon?
Yeah.
Yeah, they missed on rev. They beat on EPS, so I just went over it briefly. But, I mean, if they're looking to raise guidance or something along those lines, then you should be okay because that's what the street likes, but we are off to Adara.
We do have JPM here on watch. This one down, it was a lot of volume This morning we had apparently this news that they're launching a private markets data solution for institutional investors. That doesn't seem to be the reason for the downside. We just did have this also circulating on social media and reported by the New York Times. The title of this article, Jamie Dimon privately supports Kamala Harris. He just won't say so. So this seems to be an opinion piece. That's really worth noting. And definitely a little bit of bias in this headline, but basically saying that Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JPM, is privately a Kamala Harris supporter. It's also worth noting recently he actually spoke out, Jamie Dimon spoke out against a report or Donald Trump claiming that Jamie Dimon was a supporter of Donald Trump. So we're noting here JPM on the move with that headline, which has been circulated heavily around social media just 14 days until that U.S. election.
Jeremy, what's going on over there, Jeremy? Kidding. His name is Jamie. All right, guys, I took some profits out at 88s here on CGC at the highs. We'll continue to watch that. I'm still very interested in Triple M now. So I'm going to shout out Adair for calling this. The only reason I didn't weasel into this earlier is because it was rejecting off the 10 exponential on the 5. Now it's got an aggressive 3-candle pattern here on the 5, and it looks like it wants to take out the 20. I'm still very interested to see what it does at 134, because we know that if the double bottom manifests, the neckline typically will be adjudged at that 134 area. And it's not like it just wicked off 134 super quick and then dropped through the $0.50. Good look right now for Triple M. 3M is what I'm talking about. It trades on the NYSE, guys. Double bottom up below at 131. Still down 1%. Gonna keep my eye out on this one. All right, the other trade that I've got right now, there it is. Top wick for now on CGC. We're still holding a piece. Now, do I add on this move? I want to be looking for something around 470 or 460. I've got such a small amount, it doesn't make sense taking it out over here, but I will be looking to add on CGC if it does hold up at around that 470, 4 2/3 area. Adara, what do you got for us?
Worth noting here for 3M, there's some areas of support and resistance. That 133 was initially a bit of an area of resistance here. We did fight with it on the way down. So 133 on watch also shows up a bit in the daily chart. 135, that was also a level here on the daily chart and a bit of an area of interaction. And we did earlier reject 134. So this could be a bit of an interesting area here for MMM, though it has made lower highs after that 131 touch.
Yeah, great stuff there, brother. Oh, look, Google's working out exactly how we want. We added into this position a little bit here, Sharif, and now we're starting to trade towards the volume-weighted average price. I'm looking to take some off the top around a VWAP, so I'm going to hold. Fabian, give me those diamond hands because I'm going to diamond hand this position all the way to the volume-weighted average price, even though it may not be that far away, but it's looking like I'm not going to say a falling knife, but it's pulling back. So if we can curl over, get a little volume to step in. If not, then we're going to have to get out of this trade at the lows here. But we added into this position, so we put on a little bit more size there. So we're looking to continue this to the north side. I really like Google where it stands now. Maybe even do an options play on it. Sharif, I know we're going to talk some iron condors this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
So that's going to be good stuff. That's market neutral. You don't necessarily want to implement those in these type of trending markets, like how Nvidia is trading higher, how the Qs are trading higher. But when things go flat and start moving sideways, because essentially that is a trend, then this is going to be the perfect strategy. But as of right now, this is something that we are looking at, boys, and it is boys and girls, sorry. So this is looking like we are going to continue here and pull back. So I really like this look here, guys. So IBIT is starting to recover a little bit as well too, which is really nice. I heard Neil talking about it this morning, saying it dipped a little bit below 38s there to the penny, and it held that support level really, really well. So now it's holding the volume-weighted average price. So that's a really good look there by Neil. Maybe we can get in if we get a little retest, and then we can continue on that northeast trajectory that we really like there, brother. What do you got going on?
Joe, have you heard of this person on our team called Ram?
Ram, I heard it. I've heard of this person.
So I mentioned it once or twice, a couple of times here and there.
They just came back from vacation.
Yeah, but do you also know that it's her birthday? Ram. It's Ram's birthday. Get on screen, Ram.
Get on
Wave
screen,
to the
Ram,
people.
wave. Where are we going tonight?
Well, I don't know. I think she's probably going to go with her husband, but yeah,
Never mind. They're at a party here.
Throw up ones and wish Ram Ram a happy birthday, man. She is all of like, I don't know, what is she, 17?
Yeah,
Something like that?
max.
No, I'm kidding. She is 24 years old, the happy, ripe age of 24. Shout out to Ram Ram, killing it. There we go. Now she's getting love in the chat. Happy birthday, Ram Ram. Yeah, I should have known because she told me many times it was on the 22nd and not the 25th. Yeah, Joe, because I'm old.
So she still, are you still Libra gang or?
She is Libra.
Okay,
she likes to pretend she's Libra gang, but we know she's a Cuspian gang, right? Because she's born on the cusp between Scorpio and Libra. Shout out to. I think you have the same birthday as Judge Judy. Doesn't she have the same birthday? Check it, Ram Ram.
Charlene.
There you go.
Kyle Burdett. Oh, look, Ram Ram, this one's for you. Kyle Burdett, wishing you many bam bams for your birthday, Ram Ram. Bam. Bang. Bang.
Love that. Well, she's married, so it's all good there. But shout out to Big Smile.
I didn't put it in that type of client, but okay, anyway. So yeah, there you go.
I just want to shout her out, man. You're getting a lot of love there in the chat. Shout out to Ram Ram, man. All right, guys, what are we doing over here? We're still in APLD. I did add nice on CGC as it dipped down. I'm looking for a 76 beak wetter. It gave me 75, so I still got to wait on this bad boy. The reason I added was it was a 10 exponential hold. It's going to have to hold up. I've already put out my stop. Let's see what comes. CGC and some of these weed names are moving. We're not exactly sure why. As soon as we do find out what the situation is, we will bring you that news. No question about it. But that is the look there. Pitch Bull. Chart, Ram Ram, yeah, you remember that? Now I just say, you know about this stock, Ram Ram, the reason I like it, and then she understands, and then we're all good there. So shout out to her, shout out to Fabian as well, killing it on the ones and twos, Joes. What are you looking at?
Yeah, we're still looking over here at iBid and Google Street. Unfortunately, Google's not doing what we wanted to do. We might be a little bit early to the dance on this one, but that's okay. I mean, the market is starting to kind of move a little bit sideways here, and that's totally fine. So we're gonna wait. I think we can continue to the north side on the overall session. It just might take a little bit of time and a little bit of patience. But I think when you have those type of strong bull runs in the morning sessions in the opening auctions, that you can continue in that trajectory. All right, so that's something that I'm looking to do. But I mean, if Google decides it wants to break here, then I'm not gonna fight it because it could pull back significantly a little bit more. So on this one, it's looking like, guys, I'm a little bit early to the dance on this one. I'm the first guy there, so I'm just twiddling my fingers and thumbs, curious on what's going to happen next. So we want to participate. We don't necessarily want to anticipate here. So we're going to just continue to wait, guys. You know, I have it a definitive out on Google. So if it breaks the lows, then I'm going to get out of this trade. So until then, we're going to hold on to it because I really do think we're going to start to curl over a little bit. Buyers are going to step in. We're just around the lunchtime hour. You see that dark pool. So, I mean, let's hold these levels here. Then I think we're going to be sitting okay where we can come up and test 164.75 and hopefully continue there. But if not, we're out at 164.42. All right, so it won't be too hefty, about 20 pennies there, 20-cent loss there at max. So if it continues to come against me, then we're going to get out of this one there, guys. So, yeah, we were talking about Verizon, and someone was mentioning JPM. So let's take a look at JPM today, too, because I took a quick gander on it, and it looked extremely strong, and I don't expect anything, I don't expect anything less from Jamie Dimon and the boys. So, I mean, that thing is an absolute monster, extremely strong, starting to kind of pull in a bit here. It had a good opening drive, so let's take a look. Had a really good opening drive, but it's starting to pull back a little bit here, and you can see the volume pick up on that selling candle, which may be a little bit alarming. And I was looking at XLF today as well, too, so we'll take a little look at XLF. But, I mean, if we can continue break this pre-market level, then you might be all right, 225-ish. Then you can possibly continue to the north side with that one, northeast. So let's take a quick look at XLF here and see what the overall financial sector is doing. And it's kind of pulling back a little bit from an intraday perspective, But from a daily perspective, we did gap down a little bit, and now we've since filled that gap and looking to kind of maybe close here. So there might be some resistance around the 47 area. So look out for that. So you might catch some pullbacks in that area there. But there's no doubt in my mind that they've already reported all the big banks and everything like that. But I think we are going to break this all-time high here, and we're going to come back, talk some more stock when we get back from Adara.
Time to look at some earnings plays from this week. We like to look at day one earnings and also give a bit of a preview for what's to come for earnings as of tomorrow. Right now, GM, of course, on watch, basically at highs of day here, up almost 10% on a very strong report, though, as Sharif mentioned, outside of North America, their numbers were not as good. GM did beat, though, for quite nicely here for sales and EPS. Earnings of $2.96 per share for Q3 versus estimates of $2.43. Sales of $48.75 billion versus estimates of $44.585 billion. They also increased their EPS guidance by a whole dollar. So initially it was $9.50 to $10.50. So they actually narrowed that or tightened that range. Now they're seeing a range of $10 to $10.50. So tightening the range here for their EPS guidance is GM. We also had GE. GE Aerospace reporting here. GE down about 7% despite a beat across the board for EPS and pretty strong revenue. But it's worth noting here, they are the second company in 2 weeks to mention Boeing CEO Kelly Ortberg during their call, which is going on now. We had UAL mention Kelly Ortberg as well. Basically, GE saying that they hope the Boeing workers are able to ratify that new labor agreement. We know that strike vote is tomorrow. And they said they hope everybody will get back to work, also praising the selection of Kelly Ortberg as Boeing CEO. And speaking of Boeing, they report tomorrow morning. We analysts are looking here for revenue of $19.25 billion. It's worth noting yesterday we were seeing an EPS estimate of negative $8.77. Now we're seeing negative $10.34. So analysts are expecting an even wider loss for BA. We also have Enphase and TXN reporting tonight. Also tomorrow morning are Coca-Cola, AT&T, and NextEra Energy. If these or any other tickers are on your watch, vote, exclamation point, join, space, $sign in your ticker of choice. Sean and Neil will go over the top 5.
Thank you very much for that, Adara. Appreciate that. Adara dropping hotlines midday. Guys, Funware, great VWAP hold here, Fabian, but it did reject at least initially at $12. Joe and I were all eyes on this one while Adara was giving us the update there. But I'm unsure what to make of this. Donald John Trump and Funware are both squeezing. DJT's at highs right now. Funware is not at highs, but it's at a critical level, that $12 level. We whiffled and waffled, as you saw. We had a quick 2-candle rejection of $12 last time. Now the volume and the volatility a skosh lower, and as a result, we're not getting that decided penetration of the level at like we did earlier. So I'm all eyes and ears. This wants to take $12 on a closing basis. I'll ride this one up into that $13-ish high a day. Obviously, it's not 13, it's 12.87, but that is the look there. So I'm going to pack my patience, see what we get from that. I'm still very interested on Triple M if it is able to take out that 134 break and take on a closing basis, packing my patience. I'm losing patience, though, with CGC. I like the fact, Joe, that it's holding up at the 10 exponential, a little bit above VWAP, but it's not giving me that curl, at least not yet, off that level and showing me, yes, I'm respecting the 10. So far, it's showing me its propensity to respect the 10, but you're not getting that confirmation curl, getting it on the back end, as my friend Neil likes to say. So we'll have to pack our patience, for that. I'm still under the weather, guys, so my voice will go in and out at times. But that's what my man here, Joe, is for.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what I'm here for, guys. And you know what? Listen, we're doing what we said in Google, right? So we're getting around VWAP. I'm looking for the touch. I want a little bit closer of a touch here. But it's starting to look like the market's going to pull in against me, and that selling pressure started to pick up a little bit here. Guys, we took that first entry. Then we get stopped out at that break of that flat bottom. No problem. We enter again, and then we add onto the position. Beautiful. So we're a little bit more in size here with an average about 164.57s, we'll call it. But we're starting to pull back, and that's not what I want to see. We're starting to reject. What Sharif was looking for in CGC is how you can see price start to eventually curl back over, and that's exactly why I got out of this first position, because we weren't, even though it may seem on a tighter scale that, hey, yeah, we curled and then we were looking for the break, but sometimes stocks need to take a little bit more time to get to that point, and that curl type of price action in your favor in order for it to work, guys. So and I know a lot of traders go through this, me personally, every trader goes through it, is like you have the right idea, but the timing is just off. And that is totally part of the game, right? So when your timing is off, just get out of the trade, don't bag hold, and just wait until that opportunity comes forth again, all right? And then that way you can get in, get the right risk to reward, you can size up in the trade and do everything that you need to do to make that trade more profitable than the one that you just exited, right? So that's something that you want to do. Don't bag hold onto things, and then next thing you know, it doesn't do what you want, and then now you're holding on to a really big loser, and that's not part of the game, all right, guys? So as you can see, we're gonna hold this a little bit. I might have to, I don't know, I might have to get out of this. I don't really want to, Sharif.
Sir.
But you know what? I'm kind of in between a rock and a hard place with this one. Yeah, chill vibes. I can definitely check out Nvidia. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna check out Nvidia for you real quick, but then we're gonna be off to Brando. All right. So yeah, it's pulling back a little bit of a choppy mess there, guys. But we are off to the boys at the big desk.
Sir.
We are happy once again to have our friend Dean Skirka here, CEO of WonderFi. A lot to talk about in crypto land. Great to see you.
Great to see you. Happy to be here.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It's good to be able to talk about crypto in general. But you and I were just chatting off camera a little bit. The small cap notoriety is back in favor here. It's a great time to be a smaller company and getting some action once again. Let's touch on the ETFs to start things off here. I had a great question from a viewer, and I'll just get right to the Canadian-U.S. tie here. With the introduction of U.S. Bitcoin-tied ETFs, do we see a drop-off in interest from the Canadian side of things?
Yeah, it's a great question. Certainly with the launch of the U.S. ETFs earlier this year, there's been a lot of attention and inflows generated through those products.
Yeah.
When you think about $20 billion of net inflows through the first good chunk of this year, people are going to typically flock to where the volume and liquidity lies.
Yeah.
And so you will certainly see more volume flow to the U.S. ETFs just by sheer size and volume than you would the Canadian ETF. So in a roundabout way, I would expect a small hit to the volume profile of the Canadian ETFs.
Right.
And you're starting to see some of those ETF providers look to differentiate themselves. 3IQ is coming out with the Solana closed-end fund. And so there's going to put pressure on those providers to come out with maybe products that are a little bit more unique than the Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs that were unique when they launched many years prior to what's in the US today.
From a higher standpoint here, talk a little bit about what this has done for the industry overall. Because, we sat here for years, and it was just it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. It finally got here, and it's been here for a while now. We've seen absolutely astronomical numbers on inflows and adoption, as you mentioned. Talk a little bit about, from an industry standard, what this has meant.
Yeah, from a reputational perspective and a sentiment perspective, you think about Q4 of last year when we really started to build momentum towards these ETFs actually launching. You have participants like BlackRock, Fidelity, Franklin Templeton investing in this industry for the first time in a meaningful way. Certainly through the launch of these products and the inflows that have generated record-breaking numbers, in the first quarter pushing Bitcoin to over 70,000, breaching an all-time high, that further proves out that there is real demand at an institutional and broad base for Bitcoin and other digital assets. Right. The success of these products introduces a whole new audience to crypto for the first time in a way that will encourage them to continue to learn more and invest in the asset class beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum. And we can't help but notice, over the last few weeks, the story has sort of re-emerged with the net inflows. I mentioned earlier, there's been 20 billion of net inflows this year into the Bitcoin ETF products compared to gold ETFs when they launched in 2003. It took them 5 years to generate the same amount of assets under management. Yeah. We think that represents the relative interest in digital assets, and certainly the success that these products have generated are only going to encourage BlackRock, Franklin Templeton, other institutions to continue to invest in the asset class, which is going to continue to expand the audience that has access to digital assets for the first time.
WonderFi operates on the exchange side of things. If someone's watching this and is thinking, okay, you know, what do I do here with my money? Where do I put my money? Is it an ETF? Is it something else? What's the best way to approach that?
Yeah, for most of your audience, the easiest way to get exposure will be through the ETF products. You know, in many instances, these products are accessible through their TFSA and RRSP, which have obvious benefits to them as an investor. But what we typically see is people that get exposure to Bitcoin or Ethereum ETFs for the first time, they're opening up to the world of digital assets,
right,
which is far greater than Bitcoin and Ethereum. And as they continue to have a vested interest and continue to learn more about other layer one blockchains, decentralized protocols, and other components that exist within the ecosystem, they need alternative ways to get exposure.
Yeah.
Through the exchanges that we operate, BitBuy and CoinSquare, we are proud to offer Canadians trusted and transparent access and regulated access to the broader ecosystem that exists. And so we typically see participants come to us for the first time or come to the ETFs for the first time, primarily to get exposure to Bitcoin and Ethereum. And from there, the education and the journey really evolves. And as we offer additional products and services like staking and access to other digital assets beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum, we look at ourselves as a stepping stone for those that are investing in digital assets for the first time through the ETF products.
A lot to look forward here if we, look ahead not only to the fall of this year, but into 2025. The big events everyone's been talking about, both on the equity side and crypto side, is the election. Which direction do you think, the overall sentiment needs to go here to favor crypto?
Yeah, if you look at the last few weeks, Bitcoin's run up to just shy of 70,000 US. And it certainly coincides, in our view, with a run-up in Trump's odds to win the election, now greater than 60%. And so if you correlate the two, you'll see a clear trend where the crypto industry certainly views Trump as the more pro-crypto candidate. Ultimately, with the amount of lobbying that's gone into this election cycle and the way in which crypto has become so politicized, we believe the outcome will ultimately be more favorable for crypto, regardless of who wins the election. But you're clearly seeing, with respect to that correlation, a strong interest in Trump winning the election with respect to the short-term value or interest in digital assets. And so, we certainly think that the industry has in many ways lobbied and rallied behind Trump. And certainly when you look at, the odds for him to win the election and the reaction that it invokes from the crypto, prices, it certainly reinforces that narrative.
Let's talk a little bit about, from a macro standpoint, the other big narrative of this year has been interest rates and the cutting that we've seen not only on this side of the border, but now starting to happen south of the border. If anyone's, sitting here wondering, why are we talking about interest rates? I mean, just the ease of access to funds and the ease of access to lending coming back into play is huge for this industry.
Oh, absolutely. And it's certainly a signal for riskier assets. And we've seen a response, to the U.S. cutting rates in late mid-September with respect to, stocks and tech stocks in particular.
Yeah.
Crypto has been a bit of a laggard, but it's starting to catch up.
Yeah.
When we think about the long-term trend that we're entering into, where rates will continue to be lowered, we think that just opens up a ton of capital for investment into, riskier assets that have been on the sideline, as we talked about earlier. And so we would expect, some of the riskier assets in which digital assets certainly fall within today to catch a bid in a meaningful way as rates continue to get lowered. There's an expectation of further cuts in the U.S. this month. We think that'll be another signal that we have clearly entered in a rate cutting environment. And so when we look out, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, the impact from us entering into that environment and rates continuously getting cut is only going to have a positive effect on the setup for digital assets. And so when we step back and think about a year in which the ETFs launched successfully, the sentiment has shifted meaningfully from digital assets, and we're entering into a period where Trump could potentially win the election, which would bring about favorable regulatory environment in the U.S. for digital assets. And as we continue to think about interest rates continuously getting cut, we think that the setup for next year is really favorable for the digital asset industry.
Let's talk about WonderFi going into 2025. What's to look forward to here for investors?
Yeah, obviously WonderFi over the last 2 years has acquired 5 crypto trading platforms in the Canadian market. We have spent a big part of this year integrating those platforms and really getting the economies of scale that we expected from those acquisitions. Today, we operate one tech stack through two brands, being BitBuy and CoinSquare. We are one of two regulated platforms in the Canadian market, and we recently announced that BitBuy has expanded its presence into Australia and the Asia-Pacific region. And so looking ahead to next year, you're going to continuously see WonderFi focus on organic growth through its existing platform by continuously improving the product and servicing it offers and focusing on international expansion. We want to be looked at as a global crypto player. We believe we have all the abilities to offer our services in other jurisdictions. Australia is a really good starting point for us, but we'll continue to evolve our footprint beyond those regions into 2025. We also recently announced the launch of WonderFi Labs, which is looking to build innovative products and services that exist on-chain. And so when we think about the ecosystem as a whole, there has been a lot of development over the last year with respect to the on-chain applications that exist. We're seeing an increasing number of participants interact on-chain, and we think there is a real opportunity for WonderFi to bridge the gap to allow the next cohort of users to interact on-chain through a trusted and transparent provider like WonderFi.
If anyone's watching and going back to what we were talking about before from the exchange side of things, they want more information, they want to learn more about some of the products for WonderFi, where would you send them?
Yeah, bitbuy.com or coinsquare.com would be a great starting point. You know, our platforms are very user-friendly. We focus on streamlining the onboarding process for Canadians to allow them to have seamless access to the digital asset ecosystem. We offer a ton of educational information as well. So if you just want to come to our websites and learn more about our offering or digital assets more broadly, those would be great starting points, and you could follow us on social media as well.
Yeah, check it out. WNDR, guys. WonderFi, Dean Skirka, CEO. It's great to see you.
Great to see you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much, Brando and Dean.
Yeah,
great interview there.
Yeah,
great
stuff
interesting
there.
products. Check them out. There you go. Wonderfi.com. Appreciate that from both the gents up there. All right, what are you looking at, Joe?
Yeah, hey, brother. You know what, Sharif? We took a couple stabs at this this Google trade here, and it's not working out. I'm on stab number 3. And if it doesn't work out, guys, you know what? I'm not going to try anymore on... Okay.
Third time's a charm.
Okay, third time is a charm. Okay, that one was tough to get out. That one was tough to get out.
Understand, bro.
And
she's from another country.
Yeah. So that one was tough to get out. So and it froze me a little bit because I didn't know where she was getting at with that one. So
I love her.
You know what, guys. And that's it. I'm not gonna mess around with it anymore. 3 stabs. If I've been too early to the dance on the third time, then you know what? I don't get to trade it anymore. And if it does what I want it to do, then so be it. There's always going to be another opportunity where you can find to take another trade. So 3 stabs on a specific ticker and a specific thesis. If I'm too early, too late, whatever it may be, if I'm wrong 3 times in a row, that's it for me. I'm calling it quits on that specific stock. You don't want to force it. And that's something that 2 Cents NY asked me. He said, yeah, he did pretty good on the, he traded some Nvidia options this morning, but then he ended up averaging into the trade. I mean, if that's part of your thesis, that's fantastic. But also don't get accustomed to that. Mind you that options are a leveraged derivative. So if you continue to average in and the asset continues to move lower, you're going to be in some ugly trouble with that one. So good luck. I'm glad you're profitable on that trade. 2 Cents NY, or sorry, I forget how to pronounce your name. But again, that's just something that I'm looking at. So I'm on attempt number 3, Sharif, and that's going to be it for me, brother.
Man, look, at least you're doing the right thing over here. I took this out way too early, Joe. Very disappointed in myself with Funware. It just didn't show me what I wanted to see. We were in at 1180.
Oh,
yeah. So a bit of obviously bad trading there, but we'll look to do a little bit better. PHU Anywhere, guys. PHU Anywhere. PHUN up 48%, still below that HOD. We wicked into 1260, I believe. The previous high looks to be around low 80s. Zigging and zagging now. I'm all eyes at $12. If it gets back into 12, look to take it off there because it had a lot of trouble with 12 earlier. We'll see if it makes its way back down there as well. I'm also long Apple for a retracement off the 10 exponential, giving this very little room. We'll see if it wants to hold up or not. Looking for something around mid-70s. Happy with this trade. Go CGC.
Let's go.
Where are we long? We're long 70. Now we're printing 80s. We wet our beak at 76. Now we're printing 81s. Let's see if we can weasel up to the high of the day. Adara checked again. to see what was going on with CGC. Not a whole lot. You know, she's really looking, there's you know, speculative stuff, more mentions than actually concrete facts. Thanks to her for checking. I should let you guys know that I believe Florida is voting on legalizing marijuana. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, fact check me, chat. It is going to be down ballot on election day on November 5th. I don't think they're going to do it before that. Just let me know if that's accurate or not. Florida voting on recreational marijuana legalization. That's a huge market, as we know. We'll see. And it's a Republican-controlled market, so that would be interesting if they actually do that. All right. The other look right now is we're still holding on here, Ram, at 484 on CGC. I'm going to look for something around the high of the day, perhaps even more if this one wants to get going. I don't have a lot of hope, or I guess not hope is the wrong word, expectations for this Apple trade, because I'm looking at what the futures are doing, and the futures look awfully weak. And if the futures are going to be weak, well, then Apple's likely going to follow suit. So we're likely going to get a break of the 10 exponential, off which I'm basing my trade. If that's the case, we're gonna get stopped out there. Jamlocky, yes, Florida voting, and Dallas, Texas are on the ballot. Dallas, Texas, they can do it at a municipal level? I didn't know that, because in Canada, everything is controlled by the province. The city only has powers vis-a-vis the province. So only those two levels of government are protected in the Constitution, the Fed and the province. I didn't know that municipalities could do it down there. Very interesting. M. Allen, good cause, Lord knows Florida needs it. No comment. That's your opinion. Anyway, I thought I'd tell you guys that in case you were wondering why CGC was moving. But as Ram wants me to let you guys know, please smash that like, hit that subscribe, and share with your friends. If you ever got any value from anything that we do on here, please help give back by just giving the channel a bit of a boost there with the algorithm. And you know, it wouldn't hurt to vote either for your favorite tickers. It's super easy, exclamation point, the word join, then hit that space bar, very important. Then shift 4 for the $ and your favorite ticker. The big kahunas, Neil and Sean, will have a look at that ticker for you, but only the top 5 make it on, ladies and gents. So make sure you're having your friends in the chat vote your way so you can make it onto the top 5. It is a democratically run system, Joe.
That's it, brother.
What's going on over there?
Hey, I'm just over here looking at Nvidia trying to get rid of some dark pool wicks, because everybody's mentioning, hey, it's sitting around the volume weighted average price, which we really like. AMD is absolutely tanking, sitting around $156 right now. So that's super unfortunate, guys. I'm gonna have to get rid of this position that I'm sitting in, because no matter how many calls I sell against the position, it's not gonna offset the losses. This thing is not doing what I want it to do, and it's absolutely frustrating. The PE is through the roof on that, still trading at around 190 times. So, I mean, the street thinks that it's too expensive. So this thing is selling. We do have earnings coming up. I think by the end of next week, they report on the 29th or something along those lines. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'm not going to hold that position until then. I've had, I don't even want any more part of it, sold some calls against the position, mitigate a little bit of risk, but it's not doing what I anticipated it to do, so there's no need to hold on to this position anymore, guys. So that's with AMD. I'm going to take a look over here at the stronger semi, and that's the boss of all bosses, going to be the #1 market capitalization stock in a matter of no time. Did they surpass Apple when they went all-time high?
Oh, good question. Not too sure. So Apple right now, my man, is 3.56.
Yep.
Nvidia, 3.509.
Oh,
just barely
so just
Apple
shy.
going. Just barely.
So just shy. And I mean, probably at the high of the day, it probably had it beat. So, you know what, guys, coming, I'm just going to stick to what's hot. So we're going to get these dark pools fixed up for you guys here. And then if we can continue to hold, as you can see, we're starting to form somewhat of a triangle, ascending triangle here, as we start to form lower or higher lows, and then but the reverse comes on the same time, so we got lower highs as well too, guys. So we got to keep an eye out for that. But as price starts to compress a little bit here, I'm going to look for the break of this specific price compression. As you can see, we're trading in this kind of triangle formation. So I'm going to wait for volume to step in and then for a breach in either direction. So I'm going to look to follow the volume on this specific trade, brother. What do you got going on?
I'm looking at Funware because I said I'd be interested if it came back to 12. Well, it just touched 1260, and now it's all the way back down. Well, it was all the way back down into 1207. Now it's popping back up into the 20s. I'm a little concerned because what I see, could be a possible double top. I mean, you never really know, but it's still above the 10. It's doing everything over here, everything right. 1287 HOD. Last time we got into the high was 1260. We know from our lesson on double tops and bottoms. The peaks and the troughs don't necessarily have to be at the same level, just generally in that same vicinity. So we'll see what this one presents us with. It's been awfully strong, likely running in a sympathy with Donald John Trump. All the way up now, 34.20, another big boy day for DJT. No fundamentals and all. It doesn't matter. It's running. It's up 9% and change. It was up 5 something yesterday. Let's have a look at the 4-hour over here on DJT. We're still well off the highs that we got into in March, like at almost $80. Is still putting in symphony of lower highs when you look at the wider time frame. But intraday, very strong. DJT, it's been very respectful as well of the 10 exponential. Look at this. The last time it breached it, 1025. It is now 1205. So what a move here for DJT as it heads back up to the upside, challenging that high at day. I think it's a few pennies off that. We'll keep an eye on DJT and, by extension, PHU and Funware. I'm involved in this Apple trade still. It's just barely holding up at the 10 exponential. The future looks like it's destined to make a VWAP touch here at 20,450, and that will likely push me out of my Apple trade. There's not much room between this current price action and where my stop is placed, so we're going to let come what may. Obi-Wan, look at DBGI. Yes, sir. Let's have a look at DBGI. I don't think I've looked at that one today or have notice of it. DBGI, what is this? Digital brands. Okay, let's have a look at this stock. This is the 5-minute on DBGI. Oh, wow. Okay, so small cap gapper, midday squeeze, guys. Look at that. So these ones are the ones that do nothing. Bupkis in the pre, Bupkis in the open, then that less liquid time of day, let's call it 11 o'clock afterwards, and then you get that big boy squeeze. What does that mean? Well, it means that its best days aren't behind it quite yet, right? So we're going to pack our patience, see what this one wants to come down into a tradable level. It's going to go on the side chart, even though I didn't have notice of this one because it's below my threshold price. It is going to remove DB or GNPX from the side chart. We're going to put DBGI, and that one's going to stay on there so we can see if we can trade that one, Joe. DBGI, interesting look here on watch.
Yeah, that's great stuff. I'm just talking to Adara in the chat here about her trade on 3M because it's been an absolute fantastic look. So she's telling me that she caught a nice move on it so far, and she's just going to sit there and wait for another entry. So she had a good one. So good luck there, Adara. Nice trade. And you know what, guys, we're just going to wait because I'm starting to like where it's sitting. So if we can hold the volume weighted average price, I'm going to look to see how price action reacts a little bit around that and see if we can continue to the northeast side. But guys, I'm still sitting here. I'm waiting for Nvidia to start to pick up a little bit of steam. As you can see, we started to form this trend line here, and price is starting to compress a little bit. And I'm gonna look for this price compression to break, and then I'm gonna try to follow the direction of the break. So again, these are just kind of little subjective lines, but you can see what I'm getting at with the triangle formation that is absolutely forming here. So we like this. We have the 1, 2, 3 touch, and then we're holding these higher lows as well too. So let's see if we reject around 143.5s, and then if it continues to bounce up in that area, then I think it's only a matter of time till NVDA decides to pick a specific direction. So guys, okay, so BIVI, I remember we were talking about that yesterday. We'll take a look at BIVI right after we get back from Adara.
I think they're going to go.
Let's take a look at what's happening so far this midday. We do have the Qs continuing to push a little bit lower. On the 15-minute chart, you can see slightly higher lows, but more or less a range here for this NASDAQ with some heavy resistance around 496. Around 11 a.m., we had comments here from U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen saying, amongst other things, that she believes that having a broadly applied tariff will be a misguided approach that could negatively impact consumers. Also saying some nice comments here about the US dollar, saying it will remain the world's primary reserve currency, in part because she doesn't see any other currencies being able to replace it in the near future. Also mentioning the pretty large deficit we got on Friday after the close, saying that bringing these deficits under control could help ensure, quote, demand for U.S. debt. So some comments there in the economy from Fed Chair Yellen. Lots here on RUM actually pushing to the upside. I'm not seeing any news on this. Rumble sometimes does move in sympathy, though, with PHUN and DJT. There's a lot of retail attention for this one and a 20% short float. We also had JP Morgan moving a little bit here, though it did recover a lot of that move. Basically what happened was we had the New York Times with an opinion piece saying that, or at least reporting here again, not confirmed, that Jamie Dimon is partly supporting Kamala Harris. So JPM on the move, but RUM, PHUN, and DJT strongly upside. Last but not least here, MSOS. We have a lot of these cannabis names. Not sure what the reason for this move is. On Twitter, the sentiment seems to be confusion, though there's also not a lot of Twitter mentions for MSOS like you normally see. If these are any other tickers are in watch for you, go in the chat and vote, ! Dwayne, space, $sign in your ticker of choice, because the top 5 tickers voted for will be covered by Neil and Sean in the rundown at 2 p.m. You have until 1:50 to vote.
The funware here, it breached the high of the day, I believe, by 1 entire penny. $12.88, guys. High of the day right now on PHUN. Previously, we had been at this top over here. We printed that at about 20 after the hour, and there it goes. Hey. It's now knocking the door of 13, Joe. DJT not at high of day, but funware about to break 13, $12.99 HOD. This is big boy squeezing right now. What a move up here. It gave you the opportunity at 12. There goes 13, 13.09. Now we're getting a big squeeze. What is the short interest on funware? I have to find out super quick over here. PHUN, not M. 6.47%, not the biggest, but it really depends on where they got short. So we'll keep an eye out on that one, but watch out for this one, guys. It's really moving over here, 56% and going right now. I really don't know what the top is. We're going to have to do some charting over here, Joe, but funware absolutely squeezing. Donald John Trump on the way up into the high day as well. 34.42 I see in the side chart here is the high of the day there. So strong names right now, likely moving in sympathy with one another, Joe.
Yeah, that's great stuff there, Sharif. I'm in 3M now because I was talking about it earlier. Adara and I were talking a little bit about it and what she was doing. So I'm in it now at the volume weighted average price around 134.5s. So we're looking to see if we can continue, break and hold VWAP and then continue as well here. So as you can see, we're starting to trend a little bit here in the northeast direction. That's exactly what we want to see. So let's see if we can recover what we sold in the opening auction here and continue and then recover and hopefully get around these pre-market levels. But I'm really liking where it's sitting right now. And then there's going to be room for some potential adding as well, as long as we continue in the right trajectory. All right, guys. So hey, let me know. You guys are mentioning, sorry, in the chat, So Rumble gaming sharing platform, yeah, it's absolutely squeezing today. I don't know why we got this really big candle here on the daily engulfing all these previous days, but then I don't see the volume supporting that. And that's something that I'm always going to look out for, volume by time, right? So this is, some people like to look at volume by price, VPOC, right? The volume pointer of control, but I like to keep my eyes on the volume by time profile, right? Okay. And where is the volume when you have such a massive candle? So what is going on here? I'm not too sure, but there's something that, in my opinion, it's missing. Accept the drive for what it is, absolutely, but then look for that volume to sustain and have the ability to continue moving to the northeast side, guys. So I would look for that volume to step in. That's one thing I would look at. I know Adara mentioned Rumble as well too, sitting around 6.25. So we'll take a look at that. Let's see what we got from an intraday perspective and how it's trading. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, parabolic, as things been trading phenomenal. So good luck there, guys. If you're in from the beginning drives or looking to play the continuing trend, then that's definitely a good look, guys. Hey, let me know what you want to, what you guys want to look at, what option strategies you guys want to look at, because we are going to be talking iron condors this week. So let me know what you guys have the potential setups for coming into earnings. But we're going to talk more options and stock when we get back from Adara. Nice volume spike here for the trade desk, TTD. This one breaking out of an
kind of chill consolidation range all day, up about 1% still. Axios reporting that Spotify is partnering with the trade desk TTD. Spotify apparently partnering with TTD to launch this ad exchange. So Axios reporting about Spotify's ad exchange, SPOT here, and TTD.
Shout out to Derek. Thank you for that. All right, Funware coming right back into my entry price. All right, I took a bigger position here at 13. Couple of beak wetters at 20 and 25. It came right back into 13, looking to defend 13 here with PHU. And what a big move that was. But let me tell you, anything below 13, we're flattening out here. It's going to have to hold up, and there it is. Now we're out. Now let's see if it wants to pop back right up above 13. No, not quite. So good. Good out there. Happy with this trade. Let's see if it wants to set up. I'm looking at 1260 now. Couple of reasons. One, we had an initial rejection right at 12 o'clock at 1260. We also had a general 1260 touch. I mean, look where this closing print comes into 1256. So if it comes into that area, I think it's a good look. But I'm gonna wait for that setup now that we're all out of it. Here comes breaking through 80s. Nice. Let's see if it holds up at 1260 or generally. Wow. Right into that 1260 and boom, right above again into 1275. Zigging and zagging right here. Let's see if we can get in and see what we can get off this trade. But there's so much bleeding, Joe. Feels scary to punch in once there's a lot of bleeding like this. But yeah, I think that this might, I'm gonna wait for a setup to come in that's a little bit less volatile.
What happened there? The straps broke or what?
The straps broke? Oh, my God, yeah.
Strength.
Bro, it just was zigging. It was zagging. I'm like, yo, you're boring me to death.
Yeah, that's
right there. Joe's pointing at this right here in case you're wondering, guys, because I had a trade on it earlier. We took it out for like, what, 15, 20 pennies, and then it ended up running $1 and change. So Joe trolling me true to form. But we'll look to do a little bit better right now. 1260 is the bottom for now on this candle. So I called it out, didn't execute. 1260 was the level, and now we're about 20, 25 pennies higher than that at the moment. I'm also looking at Wolf. So this was a holdover from yesterday, and it's not a big percentage mover on the day. But look at this. So this one, it was a big mover yesterday, and it's not giving back anything. In fact, we made a newer high above yesterday's high, so this one's continuing to go. Now, when I sat down on the desk, we were actually below yesterday's closing print, so we were in negative lane. That's at $6.21. We're well above it now. As you can see, respecting the moving averages, the deeper retracements, like this 3-candle setup on the 5, comes right into the 20. When it does retake the 10, the superficial retracements or the more shallow retracements do seem to bounce off the 10. Exponential moving average. So WULF definitely in focus for me. Going to keep my eye out on that one. Last but not least over here on what's it called? CGC. I was able to take it out initially top wick, but true to form comes back down into that level. 474 was an interesting level because of the chop and churn that we had there. It holds up, and now it is looking to test that high of day again. I'm talking about CGC, and it wants to take out 488s. That was the initial high of day. We were able to take it out at 85s last time, but I think this one's got more left in the tank, Joe. It's basically at highs, and it just took out the highs, my man. 489 HOD now on CGC. We still don't know why this is running, and quite frankly, I don't really care. It's just running. I'm trying to find it for you guys.
You crushed that one there, though.
That one was okay.
You held heavy there.
That one was okay. It's a little bit better.
PR.
Not too bad there. Well, I did get stopped out of Apple, so this was a bit of a frustrating trade because I think I had the right idea. Sorry for the distortions. I don't even know where the wick is to be able to fix it. So, but this was an entry at the 10 exponential. We ended up breaking below that. I'm just going to show you where I got in here on this chart. So this one was one of those cases where it was a specialist breakdown. I won't be convinced otherwise. Look where the candles all hang out. And then you have this one outline candle that pushes everybody with a stop out of the trade. It dips down into about that $0.25 and then goes upon its merry way into that $0.0075. I think this is still setting up. So if you want, I'm going to be looking here at AAPL for a possible 235 break and take. The future, though, it's not really giving you a whole lot to celebrate in terms of longs. I mean, we've been at VWAP, I feel like more than we've been at the highs. We've been trying to hold up VWAP. You have a 2-candle hold up over here at 12.05 and 12.10, but it's not really moving away from it with any vigor. So I'm a little suspicious of a jump right now on the Mag 7. But Apple got beat up earlier, right? On the back of news, like you were mentioning. Verizon reported today, and they reported possibly softer than anticipated handset sales. What the market maybe failed to account was people are leaving Verizon and going to other carriers. Like I'll tell you, my sister, she like basically took the entire fam off that Verizon package, put everybody on T-Mobile. T-Mobile's taking everybody apparently right now.
Hey man, you got the better packages, you offer more data, you're gonna steal market share.
And they got, yeah.
Is that simple, right?
Yeah, simply. Simple as that. And I know that they made that merger with Sprint, or they acquired Sprint. So then they had like, I think they added to their network.
So there you go. I mean? So more broadband or whatever.
Yeah,
call it.
yeah, well said.
So there you go. Hey guys, yeah, we had in the chat Rivian Millionaire. Thanks, I appreciate the love, brother. Appreciate that a lot. I know you're a regular in the chat. So, hey guys, someone mentioned Lulu calls. I was in the store over the weekend. I'm not going to mention why, but listen, we were. No, I mean it's a good store. No, that's great. Okay, well now I'll mention it because I was buying my girlfriend a gift for her birthday. So there you go. She knows now that we were in the Lulu store. Hey, I mean I own Lulu stuff, right? So. But listen, I think it's a fantastic brand. It's one of the luxury sporting goods. So, I mean, calls on this thing. Has it put in a potential bottom? I don't know. Like, the retail game is so tough. And when you have so much competition, Sharif and I were talking about this the other day with Nike and how you can reach consumers now via so many different ways, social media, all these different forms of advertising. The competition is just so vast with these, right? So, I mean, it's still a great company. Am I buying calls on this? If I somehow pick the bottom on it, maybe. But as of right now, I'm not too sure when they report. I would definitely wait for them to get some more solid reports under the belt before you start buying some calls on this bad boy. All right, guys? So that's that look on Lululemon. And I know you guys had a couple other mentions in the chat about options. So, like, Joe, what kind of options would I play? Okay, no, sorry, I'll go Samer Zezroza. I'll look at hood for you, bullish or bearish. And then someone had some Tesla questions on options as well too, so we'll take a look at that. I mean, hey, how could you argue that this isn't bullish, right? So, especially from a daily perspective, I know the stock took an absolute beating. Did they? I don't know if they reverse split or anything, Sharif.
Who?
Did they? Hood?
Hood? I don't think so,
I
brother.
don't think
but
so.
Usually
So maybe
those charts show.
Yeah, usually it would. Oops, sorry guys, some technical difficulties here. I don't know why it doesn't show it here. Anyways, we're gonna get off this here now. Anyways,
no split, brother.
No split. So they've absolutely recovered somewhat. They're starting to curl around again, but we'll pull it up here for you guys and see what hood is. And I would say that you're bullish. I would say that you're bullish on this. It's not pulling up here for me, but we're going to talk some more stock about what you guys are talking about in the chat. But this is absolutely bullish there, Samer, but we're going to go to Adara.
This part of the show is brought to you by Firefly Neuroscience. Firefly Neuroscience has taken a bold step in advancing brain health technology. In collaboration with Bright Minds Biosciences, Firefly's innovative AI-powered platform has successfully analyzed data from a groundbreaking phase 1 clinical trial using advanced EEG technology to track brain activity. This data unlocks new potential in treating neurological and mental disorders, reinforcing Firefly's position at the forefront of brain health innovation. As they prepare for phase 2, this partnership signals exciting developments through the future of neuropsychiatric treatments. Firefly Neuroscience, shaping the future of brain health.
Yes. Our sponsors, Firefly Neuroscience. Shout out to them. Good look by them, Joe. What you were saying?
Yeah, we were just going to, someone mentioned Tesla calls. We were talking a little bit hood, and I think that thing is definitely bullish, starting to curl around. So that's something you'd want to look for. But I mean, you have these big legs up, so you have leg 1, leg 2. So I would definitely wait for something to pull back, maybe test these levels around 24-ish, and then maybe you can continue to the top side. But a chase up here, I think you can get a better price on the stock for sure. So definitely keep an eye on that. I know like options volume and all a bunch of things, they're doing a lot to implement more onto the brokerage. So yeah, keep an eye out on that one. So that's a good look there, guys. Tesla, someone mentioned Tesla. What kind of option strategy would I implement on Tesla? I don't know if I specifically would right now, just because, I mean, look at it. Looking like we might break this 215, 213 level and continue to the southeast. So you know what? I'm holding off on this. You can sell some, and you know what? If you want to get into specific strategy, and the more that I look at it, and now that you mentioned it, I kind of like this. I would look to do something like a bear call spread, but the issue is that they report tomorrow. So tomorrow after the bell, I believe. So you just want to be aware of that. So avoid that. Let that volatility come in, and then you can base a decision on what kind of strategy that you want to implement. So let's say if Tesla didn't report tomorrow and it was in a couple of weeks, there's something that I would implement would maybe be a bear call spread. And why would I do this is because we have this gap fill here, right? So this I can use as potential resistance as a stop. So you can sell some 230 calls or some 225 calls and then buy some 230s or some 235s above it, creating a net credit into your account. So what this tells us is that, okay, hey, we're a little bit bearish on it, but we give ourselves some leeway. If Tesla doesn't close above 230, then you can still create a profitable trade. But as you see that we might break this flat bottom here, Sharif, that this is something, instead of owning the outright equity, and I wanted to create a little passive income on the week, is I would maybe implement a 230, 235 bear call or a 235, 240 bear call on Tesla. Sharif, what do you got going on, brother?
Nothing, man. I'm short right now on Triple M for a VWAP rejection. We'll see if this one wants to hold out over here. Where am I short? 56s. I'll look for something around 134s. Otherwise, if it breaks above 70, I'm gone. It's going to have to hold at this level. We'll see if it wants to do a bit of a candle rejection at the volume weighted average price. I missed it on the way up. I thought Adair had solid levels there, and smart on you for joining that trade there. I missed it, so I'm looking possibly to extract a little bit out of it over here. But this one has got my attention right now. CGC is on the way up, guys. It took out that top. There was a bit of a resistance level. You could make the argument in the high 80s, low 90s. That's gone. Now we're looking at $5 now, 14% with no news still, guys, on this name. So I'm packing my patience. I want to see if this one wants to break and take 5. Otherwise, we'll look to do something else. But it's awfully close into $5 right now. $4.97 right now on CGC. This thing keeps on going. And Funware as well was moving up quite nicely over here. Let's show, where is that? Yeah, there it is, Funware. So now this is back at that 1260 again. So now if it holds up at 1260 and puts up a couple of green candles, I'm going to punch long into this. I like 1260, but then I missed it initially on this candle. Then it really breached it. And now it's putting in a symphony of lower highs and lower lows. And there it goes, dipping down aggressively over here on Funware. So it's not going to set up in the way that I want. Now, from the side chart, I think that Triple M is going to break that top. So I'm looking to get out of this one if it continues to go over here. Whoa. Let's see if it continues to go down.
Oh, you're short?
I'm just because VWAP is there. That's the only reason. I'm going to give this one a little bit of room. Otherwise, if it continues to go, then we're going to get out of this one. Keeping my eye on Funware, trying to VWAP short, but it was a hell of a double bottom off that 130. So we'll see what this one wants to present us with in terms of any opportunities. Let's go ahead and hang out at 33s or so there for Funware. Or sorry, for Triple M. Now, there is some other stuff that's on the move. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, CGC is about to break $5, man. $4.98, good strength there. HOWL as well, holding up at the 20 exponential. This one's about 30% in the green, but that one that I brought to you guys earlier, Wolf, it's not a big mover. It's a continuation play from yesterday, but it's very respectful of these moving averages. If you're patient enough to get something off the 10 EMA or on the deeper retracements at the 20 EMA, you're being rewarded because it keeps on making higher highs and higher lows. So fantastic look right now for WULF, a holdover from yesterday, Joe. Looks like Triple M just wants to keep on going. What I'm seeing here on my side chart is we're getting higher lows on the 5-minute candle. That is not the look that I'm looking for. I'm looking for a rejection at this level, but it doesn't look like it's incoming, Joe, so I'm probably going to get stopped out soon. SGMO as well. I got to tell you guys, this one was on my side chart because it was doing good things initially. Look at that big move from the pre-market, but we give up the ghost quite aggressively there at VWAP. We don't even hold up at VWAP despite the fact that we had a 2-candle hold up at around 10 o'clock. Now we're kind of doing the rounded bottom, shut the big spile, and we're getting right back into that volume weighted average price. Now we know that VWAP was an area of support initially. Does it act as rejection this time? It's around $1.30, $1.33. It's not giving you much in the way of huge moves, but it looks like it is a predictable trade on the day, to kind of put it like that. So now I'm just trying to, yes, there we go. Move this down a little bit, and then we can adjust that. What are you looking at, Joe?
You know what, Sharif? I'm just watching our head-to-head battle here in 3Ms.
Are you long? My bad, bro.
No. What do you mean, my bad? Take what you look at, but I'm having fun with this one because
I thought you were already out of it.
We're in an absolute war right now. He's short essentially where I'm long. So we're looking to see which one comes out on top here. It's all healthy competition, guys, and that's what you want to do. You want to be in a competitive but healthy competitive nature, right? Just from sports and gym and stuff like that, right? You just always want to compete. So it's fun to see that stuff. So you got to have some fun with it, guys. And as long as you have risk measures in place, then by all means you can have a little fun with it. So okay, guys, Chris Ivy, Joe, what if you wanted Tesla at 200? Let's say do a cash secured put on it. Bit of premium, then look to upside from 200 if it hits that. I mean, yeah, you have the absolute right idea, and I like that holding it, waiting for price to come to you. You can definitely do some cash secured puts on that, sitting around 200, which is, it looks like a pretty price, and it's a good even price too, right? So it's a good psychological point. So absolutely, if you have the cash and you want to do some cash secured puts and maybe look to run the options wheel on it, then you got the nod from me on this one. I think that eventually Tesla is going to start trading higher. Unfortunately, We Robot wasn't the best of the best and slightly vague, so that may be a lot of reasoning to what's going on here. And that was just a little bit over a week and a bit ago. So, I mean, 200... I would say that Tesla can definitely go there, especially if the report comes out pretty weak. But I would like to say I'm an Elon bull, so I would like to see Tesla pop. But I mean, you got the right idea, Chris Ivy. Sell those puts around 200. Whether you get filled or not, you still collect a little bit of cash on the side there, my friend. So good luck there. And we're gonna go with Adara with small cap recap.
IWM still pretty choppy here, though. We are stronger than last time we looked at this chart. Going back about 2 hours ago now, we have some clear higher lows, slightly lower highs, and still some resistance at 222. So let's see if IWM picks a direction right now just above that 221 level. We're going to take a look at some different ones. This name, not as small of a small cap as you normally would look at. RUM Rumble here up 5%, so not super significant, but it's worth noting because it was 20% short float. This one got a nice push up with volume. Wasn't seeing any news on this, but Rumble has again 20% short float, lots of retail attention, and it does sometimes move in sympathy with PHUN and DJT, which we know are running. Rumble, nice look up there for RUM, and it has a market cap of $1.7 billion. We also have CGC. A lot of these cannabis-related stocks moving up here with no explanation. Couldn't find anything on social media. Not a lot of social media attention. There's some speculation, question marks. CGC here, canopy growth up. Basically at high of days here, though the volume has dwindled from its first pop. Good look for this one. And last but not least, we do have WULF. Higher lows here and looks like a flat top breakout. This one not up as much as the other, up 3% right now. Though it does have about a 16% short float. So WULF short float, about $2.5 billion market cap. Day two move after it ran yesterday. We know Sharif gave you that trade live. And also, if you guys are looking at these or any other tickers, make sure to vote. You have about an hour and 20 minutes left to vote for your ticker of choice, exclamation point join, space, $, and whatever stock you want to see covered on the afternoon rundown at 2.
Thank you very much, Adara. Remind you guys, here is the entry, or what's it called, the prompt. But make sure you enter it correctly, otherwise Streamlabs gets very upset. It's exclamation point, the word join, and then that space, and then the $sign, and then the ticker of your choice. I see a lot of you guys not putting the space between the word join and the $sign. It just won't register. I know Bears versus Bulls tries to do his absolute most to tell you guys exactly exactly how to do it, but sometimes, you know, we just don't get it right. So to make sure, if you want Neil and Sean to cover that for you, enter it right. And Ram will get upset with me if I don't tell you to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button. If you ever got anything out of the lesson or the trading, we'd love it for you to give back a little bit to the channel and help the algorithm know that you like what you see and you like what you hear. So shout out to you guys, and you guys obviously the reason why we're here. All right, sorry, Joe.
Hey, you got it.
Look,
Hey,
it goes
you got
both
out
ways.
of you got out of your 3M.
No, I did. Oh, I only took a small amount.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I just got out of it, so you got the right side. So double W for Sharif today. He wins the gym and the 3M one. No, it's not.
Honestly, like I was telling you off camera, the only reason I got into it, not because Adair didn't have sick levels, it's because it was just that VWAP. So I bet you this thing ends up running, but maybe I just got a little bit lucky.
Ram told me not to cry, so I'm fighting back the tears. I've just been getting pummeled left, right, and center on the day, guys. So that's all right. We're gonna go 0 for 3 or 0 for 4 on this session. It's tough getting anything working right now, but that's okay. It's definitely part of the game. So we have the incredible Mr. Lib. Is this Wayner in the back? I don't know. I don't know if it's Wayne. Ooh. So the incredible Mr. Lib, is that Wayne?
Wayne, over here?
Yeah, like
that's Andre.
No, Wayner, like our floor manager Wayner says, Joseph, I'm in some 125 SOV leaps. How far do you see it going? Well, one of our floor managers, Wayner, has absolutely been smashing this trade. So let's take a look here at SOV, and it has recently broken out. How far can it go? I don't know. Unfortunately, I cannot predict those things. I am not Mystic Max. So, so you know what I mean? But seriously, I mean, you're on the right side of this. You have some 25, so you're sitting on a pretty penny right now. You have a leap, so you have a long time until expiration, a year plus, I'm assuming. So continue to hold on this position. You're doing absolutely fantastic. So congratulations to you on that SLV trade. Guys, I know you put a lot of stuff in the chats, and I'm trying to go through all of it, but it is quite a bit. So if I miss you, I truly apologize. And just keep putting it in the chat, and then eventually, hopefully, I'll pick up on it. All right, guys? So we're sitting here still watching Tesla. I mean, is it going to bottom? It looks like from a daily perspective that it really wants to hang around these 215 levels and maybe take another leg to the downside. So I don't know if anybody's going to step in and buyers are going to step in and this thing catches a bid to the north side, but it is starting to slowly curl around a little bit. I don't know if it's consolidating and preparing for a second leg to the downside, but we'll keep an eye on Tesla. Not the cleanest price action here, a little bit choppy, a lot of candles overlapping each other. So there's a lot better things trading today, like CGC. Sharif is having a blast with this thing because I had to look at it. Yeah, I had to take a look at it, and it's really squeezing there, and it's really trading nice. So there's a lot of other opportunities out there, like Microsoft, CGC, and other things. So we're off to Adara.
Keep an eye on FIVN. This company is called 5-9. Nice volume spike here. Basically coming into that pre-market high with that volume spike and actually eclipsing it even further. Basically, we have Reuters reporting that the company is under pressure from activist investor Legion Partners with regards to costs and also looking for a board seat. This would be the second activist investor to show interest in the company in less than 3 months. August 9th, there were multiple reports that this other activist group, Anson Funds, was interested. So now in addition to Anson Funds, we have Legion Partners reportedly interested in FIVN, according to Reuters, which does have a short float of 10 1/3% and a market cap of $2.25 billion, guys. FIVN.
Touchdown?
200, geez.
Jeez, Neil's telling me about Monday night game yesterday, man. Tampa Bay was an interconference game, Tampa Bay, and you had Baltimore. And people were talking about Lamar. Okay, so there was a lot of chat yesterday about who the best football player, not quarterback, football player. People saying Lamar is the best football player, but Patty Mahomes best quarterback. What do you feel about that?
No, I think Patty Mahomes is the best football player, to be honest with you. You see he
Respect
can
that.
run, right, and he throws the ball unlike any other quarterback that I've seen. Like if he can find a way to get it to you, he will. From flicking it by doing absurd things. I remember in 2013, I was in school in Guelph, and I've been a Ravens fan for a really long time.
Have you actually?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice,
Ed
man.
Reed, and well, that's who I grew up on. Ed Reed and Ray Lewis, those guys back in the day. So that's why I was an absolute
Legion
savage.
of Boom. No, that's not
Legion of
Seattle,
Boom,
that's
right?
Seattle.
So yeah, it's Seattle. But that's why I was an absolute menace in the middle of the field and in the backfield there when I was playing football because of those guys.
Can you do the Ray dance though? That's the
Can I?
question. Hey, there it is. The Ray Lewis
So
dance.
the Ray Lewis dance. So those guys, Terrell Suggs, all those guys, and our good boy Joe Flacco. Rest in peace, Jacoby Jones too. He passed away, but he was an absolute monster on that team. So those guys were absolutely fantastic. Joe W. Boyle could easily go to north of $10. It's up 5% already today off the lows. I was buying into. Oh, nice. Good luck there, guys. Beautiful stuff. So yeah, keep sending me your options. Predictions and trades that you would want to potentially look at, guys, and we'll continue to look at them and we'll analyze and break down those trades. But as of right now, CGC is just absolutely monstrous, up 16.5% on the session. So this thing is absolutely roaring. Look at it from a daily perspective. It is squeezing to the fullest. So, I mean, this stock has been absolutely battered down. And all the hype was around 2017, 2018 when our good buddy Justin Trudeau was he was implementing and legalizing the cannabis sector, guys. So that's a look there. Joe, how many of you grew up with the, I don't know what that means. Oh, yeah, the Haworski, I remember that guy. Take the host. So, yeah, guys, I mean, keep sending your stuff in the chat. SMR Moon Time. Yeah, let's take a look at SMR. See what it is up to. And I wouldn't necessarily say moon time. I mean, I know there's... Yeah, in the meantime.
What song is that, man? 8-1 up.
8-1 karaoke, okay. So, yeah, I mean, new scale power. I think this is more around Sharif's ballpark, guys. But... I mean, can it continue? Pull back here and then another big move? I can see that for sure. So I like this. Do you think Oxy can be a good long term? Yeah, I wouldn't suggest Oxy, guys, but more or less for collecting the dividend. It's not the best trader. I mean, I'm pretty sure Warren's still in it. So anything Warren's in isn't horrible, but there's other plays other than Occidental Petroleum. But what do you got going on there, my friend?
I just want to let you guys know the Katina man is still short the futures at 20,500, which is like pretty close to the top. He's still negative on these here markets. And let's have a look quickly to see what these here markets are doing. Well, we gave up the ghost, Katina man, at the volume weighted average price. We were whiffling, we were waffling at 20,450. And then finally we gave up the ghost. Now we're down into that 30-point area. Let's see if we continue to bleed possibly into 400. I mean, there's really not a whole lot of areas of support down from here. So we gave up the ghost at VWAP. There is this pre-market area crest from where we're below now, actually. Well, kind of not really giving it up quite yet, but you get what I'm saying. There is this area of possible support. Below that, we're really not looking at much. We're really going to have to get into that 20,400. Shout out to Big Smile. He's probably all smiles ear to ear. He's Big Smile right now. There you go, Big Smile. We've got another dip down. The future on the way down now, down 0.44. Looking to go 0.5% on the NQ December contract. Just to let you know, the ES down a third, the NQ down 0.4, Dow essentially flat, the US 30 down 0.06, and the Russell 2000 down about 0.5%, a little bit higher, a little bit lower than that, excuse me. So all the indices, for the individual who told me yesterday, stop saying indice.
Indexes.
Yeah, he's like indices plural. It's index. Thank you for that. You were right, and thank you for correcting me. Yeah, all of them. All the indices are down on the day, guys. But this is what's got my attention right now, Katina man. I don't know if you know, but weed is flying high. CGC, Katina man, at high days there, 18% and change, and we have no idea why. We do not know why weed is moving up. But there you go. Look at this move up right here, uninterrupted on canopy growth. You got all the weed animations that we had. Shout out to Sean. 516 HOD. We're still at 514 right now. It did its darndest to hold 5. I saw a lot of zig and zag at 5. It ended up holding it. Looks like we're really going to go up here. Let's find out what the daily looks like here on CGC, if it's going to load. Bruh, like I don't, come on now. Come on now. Well,
Yeah,
it's not going to load.
Oh, I was gonna say, well, mine's doing that too. I don't know why.
Yeah,
It does it at a time.
it's this.
Yeah.
It is this, and they've had this issue for a long time, and I really don't like it.
Yeah.
Here's the level of possible resistance, Joe, because we're such a big mover today on CGC. Behooves us to figure out where we could find, resistance. 530. That takes us all the way back to September 30th. We got a topping tail into, I believe, $5.31. So we're still below that. Look for 530 as possible resistance. Above 530, we really need to look a little bit higher. We're looking at 556 or so. Look at this area trough from back in August 5th. That was Black Monday. Who remembers that day? Everything sold off. Everything was on sale that day.
Sale.
Yeah.
Fire sale.
Yeah, straight up, dude. Look at what the Mag 7 have done since Black Monday,
Yeah.
dude. It's just
Absolute fire
up
sale.
into the dang right, as you say, up into the northeast.
Yeah.
550 there, Joe, for possible resistance at CGC at around that $0.50 level. This is all predicated upon us continuing to move up and taking out 531, which is a more local support level. So fantastic look today on these markets and on the small cap gappers. I have done a bit of a tough trade today with Funware. I've had some positive, some negative on it. I'm negative right now. It keeps stopping me out, but I think it's going to curl up here. So, true to form, I'm cruising for a bruising, baby. So we're going to get back into this Funware situation over here as it looks like it wants to curl up, or does it, Joe? Let's see. Here we go. We just took the $0.50 now. Let's see if we can continue to move up over here. We had some issues with 40 earlier. Funware and DJT guys moving in sympathy with one another, or at least we're assuming. Let's pack our patience and see how we can weasel into this trade, Joe.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you there,
You're
Sharif,
good,
but
bro.
we'll take a look at here. We got a $2 super chat, $4, I guess it's euros here. So pounds, sorry. Sharif, Howell holds VWAP,
I've
goes
talked
with
about it,
Wolf. They talked about it already. So there you go, Rob EV. Take the look, go back a little bit and see what they had to say about that. So I didn't know. Did you see that super chat?
Yeah,
So that's it.
I didn't actually see the super chat, but thank you for calling that out, man.
Sorry to get the super chat.
Yeah,
So we got Rob EV.
Yep.
We'll take a quick gander at it for you there, brother, just because. So Howell, that was Jerome Howell. Oh, Jerome Howell. So I don't know if he'll be howling at the next meeting. I think he's going to be a pause there, no full moon. So shout out to Jerome Howell, guys. Okay. I mean, hey, it's looking pretty good. So with the volume, we need the volume to step in here. All right. So in tandem and Wolf, you were looking at. So let's take a look at Wolf here as well too, and see what that is up to. You know what? I don't know. So you know what? But hey, if anything's moving in the direction that you want it to, always wait. When you have these big extended moves, wait for yourself to get a little bit better of a price, and then you can take it from there, all right? So there you go, Rob EV. Hope that's a good look there on Howell for you, brother. And, ask Rob EV if he is into the theft game of EVs. So I don't think he is. He's
Ram.
From
That's all I can say,
question.
bro.
Yeah, it's a question.
Yeah,
It's her
we need to
birthday.
specify that these sinister thoughts come from the malevolent mind of Ram. All right? And, some people spend their time reading books and,
She's
picking
plotting.
up
She's
chores.
plotting.
She's plotting, scheming, bro.
Plotting and scheming.
Plotting
the
and scheming.
demise. All right, so yeah, guys, we're just having a little bit of fun with that. It's her birthday, so we can have some fun, and then that's it. So, guys, let's take a look. I mean, look at 3M here. It's trading a lot more to the downside. I thought that maybe we would break the volume-weighted average price and continue recovering a little bit, but as you can see, it started to slowly curl over, rejected 135 nicely, and then decided to break the volume-weighted average price and 134.5s. As you can see, we kind of have this pivot level here, and then once it broke 134.15, then that was it. It was see you later. But we're going to talk some more stock right after the ad read with Sharif.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Talking about Trade the Pool, guys. Big news from Trader TV and Trade the Pool. Trade the Pool is giving away 7 limited edition $20,000 buying power evaluation accounts to help traders just like you take the next step in your trading journey. At Trade the Pool, you first complete an evaluation by hitting the profit targets. Once you pass, you get access to up to $260,000 in buying power. The giveaway dates, October 21st, write this down, October 21st to October 25th. The winners will be revealed on October 29th. This is your chance to start trading with a funded account, so don't miss out. The link is in the description or on the bottom right of your screen.
You trade today.
Scan that QR code. Everyone can get funded. So let's rock and roll. I was going to say stock and roll, but I guess maybe that wasn't good. So shout out to Trade the Pool. Absolutely solid there. And we had Mitch on today. I happen to really like Mitch. I think he's very intelligent, very sound in his analysis. Love that. Love having him on the show as well. I think he likes coming on. So shout out to Mitch. What's his last name? Coach or Coke or? Yeah, something like that. Mitch. All right, shout out to Mitch. All right, here we go, baby. We're in Funware, and we're knocking the door ram of that 75 penny area, so I'm going to take it out here, and we're going to let this one cook a little bit. Finally, we get a bit of a dub here on Funware, about 20 pennies in the money, a little bit less than that, obviously. Looking for a 13 break and take. Last time we weaseled into 13. We rejected probably, a 2-candle rejection there above into 13 and a third, but we gave it up quick as you like. Now, I'm still interested in adding on Funware here. I'm going to be adding on the dips because this is curling up. It touched the 20 exponential, and now it's respecting the 10. So the dips into the 10 exponential are to my liking. I will be adding on those. Let's go ahead and put another addition over here to basically front run the size at the $0.50 if it is to retrace and come into that low 50s area. I want to get some more in and around there. So PHUN certainly on watch. Donald John Trump off the highs, below 34 right now, but holding at the 20. So we'll see if Funware is in fact running in sympathy or identical to DJT, or each is going to march to the beat of their own drum. We shall see. I'm disappointed with the fact that I only had small shares in the short on Triple M because it is rejecting the volume weighted average price. Great look there. Just didn't put enough money behind it. Here is the look at Triple M. It weasels in to the volume weighted average price, which viewers of the show will know is the white line on my chart. But this is something that I just had eyes on it now. This level that I got short on at VWAP, this was also yesterday's closing print on 3M. I didn't know that. That would have made me feel a little bit better about the position because, well, we always look for that checklist, right? You want to, have as many different things checked off before you get into the position. And I would submit to you VWAP level as well as a previous day closing print acts as more resistance than just one of those individually. So good look right now for 3M coming down into about 32 and a quarter. We'll see where this one finds support, but definitely looking to do a little bit more on there. All right, I got the ad over here on the dip. Shout out to the Katina man on the dip on Funware. So it's going to have to hold up at these levels. Otherwise, we want no smoke. Let's look to Weather Beak if it is able to reascend, which, we'll have to wait and see now that we got the dip trade. So packing my patience with this Funware trade, looking to weasel into some other trades as well. Now, CGC, great look here. Now it's finally, excuse me, starting to find a little bit of a resistance over here. 520, HOD, you have a candle of indecision. It's a doji candle, and most notably about this doji candle is it finished neutral. How do I know that? Because it's yellow. So yellow candles on my chart are basically candles of indecision. They didn't change price either way. There was a wick up and a wick down. Let's see now, do we start making lower lows and lower highs for that kind of rounded top kind of situation? It could also be a few candle holdup, like a 2 or 3 candle holdup on the 5-minute chart to defend that $5 level. So we'll see. Interesting look, no question about it today on CGC. It's just really how we end up playing this one, Joe. All right, got the fill again on Funware as it popped up. Happy with this trading because I didn't trade Funware all that well. Initially, I was looking for a specific type of price action. The market gave me a finger and told me, do better, son. So we're going to try to do a little bit better here, Joe.
Money, 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 money.
Hey,
Get the money.
I like when you do it slow. People like that, eh?
Money, 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 money.
Ride slow, homie.
Yeah, we love it. So yeah, good. Yeah, drive slow.
Hey.
Drive slow. Okay. Yeah, guys. So you know what? I'm gonna tell you guys what's going on here. Someone mentioned Google. And it's looking really nice, but as I told you guys before, 3 attempts on it, and that's it. I'm not going to continue to force it, even though it does seem like it's looking like it wants to work out a little bit more. From this 5-minute candle standpoint, it's engulfing the rest of these other ones. So, I mean, I'm a man of my word, and I say that's it. 3 tries, and that's it. I was a little bit early to the dance on this one. We're not going to force it anymore. I do think this starts to recover a little bit, and then we start continuing to the top side. So yeah, BA. So yeah, let's take a look at Boeing because I know there's a lot of hype around Boeing coming up shortly. I'm pretty sure they report soon as well too. So yeah, like I mean, it had that really strong pop with the gap up on a couple catalysts there, but it since then gave it all back. So sitting around 164-ish, or sorry, 160. With that high around 165, 164. You're going to need a solid report from these guys, and you're going to need them to start hitting deliveries and doing a lot more for this company to turn around. Has it found a bottom? I don't know. You're going to have to wait for a couple of solid quarters of reporting, I think, and otherwise to determine that. But day trader cut, I see your question, but we're going to go to Adara first, and then we'll get back to it.
We do have these eVTOL-related names here on watch, including JOBY pushing higher here. The FAA has now issued its final rule for power lift aircrafts, basically establishing training and operational requirements for new aircraft categories, which can pave the way now for air taxis and advanced air mobility and enable this safe integration into the U.S. airspace. So integration rules coming from the FAA, the Federal Aviation Authority, with regards to eVTOLs, sending JOBY higher here with some nice volume, guys.
Yeah, good stuff from Adara there. Yeah, hold on, guys. Let me work on something here because I know it says on the position board that I'm short. I'm not, but yeah, we'll take a little bit of a look here and see what's going on. It still says that, but we'll see if we can get that sorted out for you guys. And no, it still says all right, so that's okay. So yeah, we'll just work our way around that. Right? Punch in and punch out there. See if we can get that cleaned up. But hey, the position board, yeah, exactly. So. I mean, guys, keep doing what you're doing out there. I know you guys had a lot of good positions out there. Someone was talking SLV and looking into some Lulu calls and what they should potentially be doing with Tesla, especially with the upcoming earnings. And I mean, I really like the Tesla look. We discussed it earlier, putting on a potential bear call spread. That's not with earnings, right? You don't want to get caught in that volatility onslaught. One thing good about creating credit spreads is that you can create them after the earnings report, and therefore the increased premiums will give you a little bit more of a credit. And then as the volatility starts to decline, it makes the average true range of the stock stops fluctuating so much, and then that way you can capture those premiums because you're not going to be caught in those insane moves, guys. So yeah, excuse me, I don't know, I'm choking on something, I don't know what. But yeah, I mean, prediction on CGC, I think this thing is starting to maybe find its top, up about 18% on the day. Let's see if it cools out here and then maybe pulls back a little bit, which I think it might. And I kind of do like it for a short, but I'm not going to short something that's so strong, up 20% just yet. Need to see a couple more signals before we get into that. But I mean, despite the good day that we had with Microsoft and Google that had really, really strong opens, the NASDAQ is still down about 0.1%, and the SPY is down about 0.2, right? So, I mean, still continuing this uptrend on SPY, which is really nice, holding the trend line very well. But surprisingly, it's still says it's down. So, I mean, with the gap.
What was that pop up though? On the NASDAQ.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It popped up 75 points in like 2 candles.
Yeah. I didn't even see that. So that was crazy. So yeah, we're still holding around this level here. As you guys can see, this primary trend still holding. It's still intact here, guys. And if you can buy those trend lines, you can buy the dips on the trend lines, then you're sitting pretty there. But other than that, brother, what do you got going on?
I'm watching this this ascension here on some of the Mag 7 in the future in general. We just took 20,500. So we're not that far away from the closing print yesterday. Go green. We just got to weasel up about 17, 16 more points over here on the NQ December contract. What a recovery. Okay. Do we have any Fed speakers, Adara?
Nope.
No Fed speakers. So interesting look here. 20,500, nice move. Now, I'm watching a couple of Mag 7 names as a result of this. A possible double top on the dead one Apple here at 294.93, maybe 235. You're not going to see me with a resting order trying to guess, but this is an area of previous resistance over here on AAPL, right around 235. And then simultaneously, I saw Tesla breach the volume weighted average price, but an inverse hammer candle forming. So if Tesla wants to print a red candle right after this one, I'm getting short on the Cybertruck over here. We're going to have to wait and see. Adara's at the big desk. What do you got for us?
We have our crypto segment. Before we get to that, though, I'm not seeing any news on this market. We have no Fed speakers except for Fed's Harker, who spoke at 10 and made no comments on basically no comments on rates. We also do have a lot of these EVs, TSLA, RIVN, and the eVTOL, specifically Joby, moving higher after FAA issued its rulings there on the powered lift aircrafts, which basically will now allow for safe integration into the U.S. airspace for eVTOLs. So keep an eye on eVTOLs. TSLA, RIVN, and other EVs could be moving up as a response to that as well. Also, new all-time highs for gold. But with that in mind, now that we've gone over that, let's take a look at Bitcoin. We had some fascinating comments from Michael Saylor of MSTR MicroStrategy this morning saying that he pledges to donate his Bitcoin wealth to, quote, humanity, because he does not have any children, apparently. So what he has now left will not go to his kids, but it will go to the world. So interesting comments from Michael Saylor, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to look at BTC. We often what I like to do often is look at a wider time frame, because we usually look at the daily in the morning. So the afternoon, maybe we'll look at the 1 month, the 1 week, but I wanted to look at a tighter time frame. So we're looking at the 30-minute. And what you're seeing here is these lower highs with that area just below 67,000 that Neil was mentioning this morning as well. As of right now, we're trading just below 66.9 with a bit of a base here with these lower highs. So this could be an interesting level. This is also a level that served to support resistance on the 30-minute, again, as Neil alluded to, as recently here as October 15th, and we see it again for mass support October 17th. So this is just a kind of a look here at BTC, at least on the 30-minute chart. Again, short-term time frames not always as reliable, but something to note here. If we fall, then a level to watch could potentially be that 66.4, which was an area of resistance and support going back again to October 15th. So just some quick analysis of the 30-minute chart on BTC. You guys only have 50 minutes left to vote for your ticker of choice, be it IBIT or whatever other ticker you'd like to look at. Just go into that chat and make sure you're a subscriber and go ! Join, space, and a $sign and whatever ticker you choose.
Joe, I got a question for you. You hear about these eVTOLs? Electric vehicle, vertical takeoff and landing. It's like a short form.
Okay.
Vertical takeoff and landing, a VTOL.
Okay.
eVTOL is just electric,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Joe, I think I could, I could see myself definitely being a test pilot for one of those. So much do I like it.
Sign me
A
up.
lot of people don't like it. Like Neil thinks I'm crazy. He's like, bro, I don't want anything to do. I don't want to be the first person to do it. Once it's good to go, then, I'll work my way on. I love this kind of, have you seen these things in action?
I haven't
They're
seen
like
them.
monster drones.
Yeah,
that people get in. You know what I
I've
mean?
seen them. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, hey, man, I'll fly those around all day.
My goodness, bro. Let me tell you,
Aside from airplanes, but our day-to-day transportation system is two-dimensional, which is absolutely like chaotic, right? We live so
boring too.
Yeah, so anytime we can start flying around like the Jetsons, then I'm all in for it. So we'll start zooming around a lot more space up there.
Did you see any of those eVTOLs in Saudi? Do they got those things over there? Aw, Ram, come on.
Yeah.
Ram wants to be an eVTOL driver. No, Ram, look, they're building a line in the desert. It's I don't know how many kilometers long.
No, time out. Are you trusting Ram as your eVTOL driver?
Hell no.
Yeah,
bro. She told you to watch her back, by the way. It's her birthday. But,
I don't know.
Have you seen her do donuts in her truck?
No.
Oh, Ram,
well,
if we could get that video.
Then.
I mean, I don't know.
Okay, she's a truck driver. So, was that a stretch there? Was that a stretch there, Ram? I didn't see that.
Was she gesturing at you?
Yeah.
Yeah, she gestures at me a lot.
Okay,
Ram, the people want to see you doing donuts in your monster Ram truck there. Shout out to Ram, man.
She's doing donuts. Well, it's wintertime coming, so it's always fun doing donuts in the wintertime. But I was going to say to you, Sharif,
yes, sir.
Talk about putting all your eggs in one basket, Mr. Michael Saylor.
Oh, dude, he is a true believer. He's like a true believer, like an ideologue, like a real.
Yeah.
Look, bro, I mean, you and I talked about this yesterday. We talked about.
Poplianos was his name on CNBC. Anthony Pop, you know him on CNBC. Oh, okay.
No, I don't know.
Yeah. Sorry, continue. Some guy.
No, you and I talked about this yesterday. We talked about the devaluation of fiat currency because these central banks go gung-ho, right? And then there's like market value. Okay, bro, I'll give you an example, man. If you're not holding US dollars or another foreign currency in the countries like that I mentioned yesterday, like Egypt, for example, which has had crazy inflation, Argentina, Turkey, I know I'm missing a lot of countries, so I'm sorry. If you were holding that country's currency, your net worth got devalued so much unless you were holding an asset like crypto, unless you were holding an asset like the US dollar, something that didn't devalue in that way.
Absolutely.
And you know what I'm saying? So
that's like the definition of hyperinflation where
that is a problem. Right? In a lot of these countries, they don't have the choice but to print, man. And anyway, guys, I'm in Donald John Trump right now. I got in DJT Ram because it dipped into VWAP quite aggressively. I'm long 49s. I wet my beak at 70s. I'm looking for another move up, possibly into 34s. There's a lot of price action right now. It was a VWAP dip strictly. Oh, nice. That was the move here, okay? Now, if it does a double take at VWAP, I'm not sure I'd be as optimistic for another move up. I'd have to set up in a different way, but VWAP dip on DWAC over here, looking for this one to ride a little bit more. Looks to me, Joe, that there is a bit of resistance at 33.80. Only reason I say that, we couldn't break it initially, and then once we broke it, we started using 33.80, 33.75, give or take, as a level of resistance. So we just worked our way up there right now. Lo and behold, we're rejecting. So let's see if we can move up, continue to move up, or whether we're going to make our way right back down into VWAP. But there was a big market move, as we mentioned, the NQ December contract working its way back into 20,500, and that's had a lot of stuff moving. You've got the likes of Apple right back into that 235, putting in a symphony of higher lows and higher highs. Get it, Katina, man. Are you long? Yeah, he's long the dead one. He's long the dead. Oh, yeah, he's been long the dead one all day. Was that the morning position that you're holding from 232? 232.60, the Katina man is long on AAPL, essentially having the low of the day, quite frankly. That is the low of the day, Katina, man. It literally is the low of the day. What do you got over there, brother? What's going on over there? The Katina man's got like a whole bunch of chocolates and stuff like that.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, whoa. This is, these are AKA Saudi chocolates. Let's show them the jewels. Assorted chocolates from Galaxy. Thank you to Ram. Absolutely doing the most. Ram's killing it. You want one of these?
No, don't even bring those my way.
Okay, so you're one of those people. I got you.
I cannot stop. There is no self-control, so I may as well not even start because I will be putting those in the freezer. I like my chocolate cold.
Yeah,
I'm a bit, Oh, okay. So
she's got cold ones in the fridge.
She's already ahead of the ball.
She's a menace to society.
So yeah, I'm a big chocolate in the freezer guy. I can't have that room temperature stuff.
Good times here, guys. All right, so that's the look. I'm still involved in DJT. Let's have a look at WULF though. 20-period exponential hold. Nice move back up. Look, this hasn't been a big boy mover, but it's given you predictable entries. Look, this is the second time it's held at the 20 exponential, and you got a bottoming tail, kind of invert or hammer candle looking over here, looking to possibly take out the high of the day. Again, you're likely going to have to size into this one bigly in order to make any money out of it because you're not getting that big move, but you are getting predictable moves. CGC, come on, bro.
Yeah,
this
I
thing
know,
is up
geez.
20% now at 530. This is keeps on going over here, guys. So we're gonna have to figure an entry into CGC. I see some topping tails maybe here at 5 1/5. That 520 area, we could be persuaded to add into that. Look, I was a little bit bearish on it. We were waxing esoteric about this level over here at 1245. Get it, Adara. Because it was a candle of indecision.
Adara, what is Adara in? She's booming over there.
Yeah, I know.
Something rolling,
She
huh?
specific terms, she
Oh, okay,
right?
sorry.
No, she's not trading up there, by the way. So in any event, this is the candle we were looking at, Ram, and then basically what it gave us was not a reversal, was a 10 exponential entry on CGC, as it, this was the candle of indecision that we were looking at, and then followed by a red candle to make a new low. I guess maybe I had a bias because we just can't find a catalyst on that. That shouldn't be the case. I should be trading the price action, not the catalyst. In any event, here it comes into that 520 area that we were yapping about. So let's see if we can possibly get an entry in here. Joe, what are you looking at, buddy?
I'm looking over here at IBIT. I got into some IBIT here. We're starting to curl back towards the volume-weighted average price. So let's see if we can break and continue to the top side. I like it here. A little bit late to the dance. She would like to get at 38.14-ish. And then can get that move up here. But we'll see. Hopefully there's some strength in it. We start to recover a little bit here on Bitcoin. But we have a question. Joe W. from Darius Golden. To refresh, I'm trying to understand why both of my contracts are increasing. I mean,
value?
Yeah. So I mean, if you're,
right?
Yeah, it's a good thing. If you're long, then absolutely that's a good thing. I mean, maybe you have some sort of spread going on, which would do that, like a credit spread, so that could be a potential scenario. But I need to know more details on what you mean by why both of your contracts are increasing. I bought a put and a call on Tesla. Both are increasing in price. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard of it. I'm assuming you didn't short any of them, so you kind of like hedged your own position there. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
VinFast,
All right,
guys. Something's going on with VinFast here.
VinFast.
Deliveries. Look at this.
Whoa.
This just started moving, guys. Big move here on VinFast, 16%. Look at this move up. We're at 377. Now we're at 438. Here's the headline, guys. What the hell? This came in. This is like an 853 headline. No, this is super weird. Okay, I don't know why this is breaking out, but it just started breaking out at 1235. This is the news headline that I have from 8:53 this morning. This can't be it. Vietnamese EV maker VinFast said on Tuesday delivered 21,912 electric vehicles in the third quarter, up 66% from the sequentially previous quarter. The company delivered 9,300 EVs in Vietnam during September. Okay, I'm not going to read this whole thing, but you see there the price action reflects market bullishness, uninterrupted to the high side, a symphony of green here on the 5-minute chart. 440 HOD, Joe. I don't mean to interrupt you, but 16.5% right now. Great look for VFS, guys. It's looking to take out the high of the day. We are at highs right now on VinFast. Let's see what we're going to do. Adara, what do you got for us?
So this VFS story actually came out even earlier. We got it at 7:08 this morning from what I'm seeing on Benzinga. Just to recap, thank you, Sharif, for going over that. They did have the delivery of just under 22,000 vehicles in Q3, which was a 66% quarterly increase, but a 116% year-over-year increase. They have a little bit of social media attention here, though a lot of it just seems to be confusion. It's not as much as you would really expect for a pop like this. Not a huge short float either, about 7.5% short float, but some other deets on this name. They have a float of 50,000 shares, so that's not huge for a market cap of almost $10 billion. It's also worth noting 97.88% of their float is insider owned. So that's a huge insider owned percentage here for VFS with, again, a 50 million share float and a 7.5% short float, guys.
Thank you for that, Adara. Thank you for letting us know exactly what's going on there. Guys, as Adara was dropping hotlines, Donald John Trump dropped $1 quick as more. It was at 33.70. It dropped into 33.63. It's trying to reclaim the volume weighted average price. VWAP on my chart, guys, 33. It looks like 15 or 17. Get it, Joe.
Bang.
What a move up here, or down, excuse me, for DJT. Big boy moves. It's giving up VWAP. I want to see if it retakes it quick as you like, because it looks like there's a lot of buying down here. Not really a hammer candle at 33, but zigging and zagging right now, Joe. What's your look?
Was that you who punched out break? You punched out break even there?
Break
too?
even, right as we came in.
Wow, yeah.
Yep.
See, guys, that's risk management right there. So that's exactly what you want to do. You don't want to get caught in that drop. Tariq took some profits and then put a stop to break even, and then JG, I don't know why you keep saying this in the chat. Kept saying Donald Joseph Trump. Yeah, you said it multiple times. I don't know why you keep saying that, but okay.
Good times, bro.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, so Kyle, yeah, good luck on those SPX puts. I mean, yeah, good luck on you. 20% profit on those. There you go.
The Katina man's short.
He's short with Kyle, so there you go. So him and Kyle are printing up an absolute storm. Guys, CGC is up around 21.5% so far on the session. I don't know if you can actually pick a top on this thing as of right now. Right? This thing is just absolutely, like, it's squeezing and moving, so up about 21, over 21.5% now. I was looking to short it, but I don't want to short something that is this strong. I need to see some definitive signals. Like, give me some VPA signals, some volume price analysis signals, where we have the correlation, and I get a big topping tail candle with some volume behind it. But we're gonna talk some more stock when we go to Adara after we come back from Adara. Sorry.
So many movers today. We have Robinhood. This one pulling back a little bit here, bit of a topping tail candle, but nice volume increase for HOOD, which is also set to report next week. This one seems to be running in sympathy with Deutsche Börse, which is basically they're a German-based capital markets. They do something similar to what Robinhood does. They're a platform that allows for trading. They basically reported earnings, and or at least provided guidance here, seeing their fiscal 2024 net revenue to increase to around 5.8 billion euros. They also expect an 18% quarterly net revenue increase. And for Q3, they did report Q3. They also raised their guidance. So yeah, Deutsche Börse here, a bit of a confusing order here for this report, but raising their guidance, reporting apparently strong earnings here, and HOOD moving in sympathy is another platform that allows for trading, guys.
Very much for that, Dara. Joe and I were just talking about Tesla over here. I was just saying to him, I'm like, man, I've been waiting for a short on the Cybertruck. I'm just waiting for it to come in. What I'm looking for is a superficial breach or a retake of VWAP, and then a move back down. We did it a whole bunch of times. We did it over here most recently at 10:45. We weaseled up, but it was a bit of a quicker rejection than the one that we got right now, or the one that we may get right now. And that's normal because we have lower volatility right now. So the zig and the zag will take longer to manifest. I mean, look, if it does that rounded top through VWAP and then wants to breach VWAP, above VWAP and then wants to breach it to the downside, I'll get in. But what I see, to be quite honest with you, and this is going counter to my thesis here, is higher lows. I mean, just look at the wicks of these candles, each successive one higher than its predecessor or above the, not its predecessor, but above, the area trough, like this candle. A little bit higher is this candle. This candle's a little bit higher. You get it. So I'm looking for that rounded top to form at VWAP and then breach it and then drop back down. So if that doesn't come in, fine. Just trying to look for trades and see what we can possibly weasel into over here. We're also in CGC looking for this 520 defend. This was a nice little hold up there, and then we actually tested it to the downside. If we give up I want to say 507, because there's an area trough over here, I'm gone. Looking for CGC to continue, knowing full well it doesn't have really a catalyst. It's still above the 10 exponential moving average. So we'll pack our patience with this one, see maybe this one wants to take 530 or what. Let's look at some of the other weed names that are moving. It's not just CGC that we can look at. It's all of marijuana that's moving today. You have Grow Generations up 8%, Tilray up almost 9%. You got Chronic or Cron up 7.5%, MSOS 7%, MSOX Thank you for the individual who told me that it's a double levered ETF, not triple levered. I had misspoke earlier. 14.5%. Cureleaf up 10%. So everything moving. Well, not everything, but like a lot of the marijuana names, at least on my side or my watch list, moving today. So we'll keep tabs on those. Let's look at DJT again, because it just did a retracement back into VWAP and then rejected VWAP to try and make a new low. But it still hasn't made a newer low lower than the previous 5-minute candle. It's going to have to breach 32.62 for that low. So we'll see if this was a dead cat bounce using VWAP, not as support this time, but as resistance. So trying to work its way back up to 33, but DJT has been in play, man. Holy cow.
Absolutely.
Every day it seems like it's in play.
Yep, absolutely, brother. So yeah, good luck there. Yeah, it's been in play quite a bit ever since. I think they had the Apple TV release too, not too like the other day, yesterday or something as well too. So that could have added some fuel to the fire. Totally. So yeah, guys, 2NY Cent. Joe, back on Nvidia long. It looks like it has found a new line of support, or will it go parabolic? I don't know parabolic, but I mean, it can definitely trade a significantly higher. It does look like it's starting to recover a little bit here, sitting around $143, almost flat. I'm not going to doubt Jensen at any minute, so I think this thing can continue. It had an absolute beautiful session yesterday, creating all-time highs. So I was looking for the continuation on that as well today too. So we'll see if some buyers start to step in. You can see the volume start to pick up on the lower time frames, which is always a positive sign. So let's see if this thing can continue to the north side. So 2NY Cent, good look there on your Nvidia calls. Because I know you said you were in them earlier today as well too, guys. So we'll just pull up my chart over here on IBIT and see what's going on here. We're kind of just chopping around here a little bit. Let's see if we can hold these lows around 30. Well, it is holding 38, but if we can hold this support level and pick up a little bit of a bid and continue,
VWAP.
I'm looking for around 38,
VWAP.
38.40s, all right? So any strength. And now we're starting to pick up a little bit in price action. These candles are starting to become a little bit more cleaner. So I like that for a positive signal to the top side. And I mean, CGC is starting to slightly slow down a little bit here now too as well. The momentum is slightly stalling, but what an absolutely beautiful move on this thing. If you had the ability to catch this via a scanner or something earlier in the session, then you're doing pretty good for yourself, and congratulations to you for trading that as well too. So Joe W, looking at Nvidia on the 30-minute, it has a strong hammer candle with big volume, beautiful stuff. So yeah, let's take a look at that there for you, Gorav. Gorav, you know Gorav, he's a regular.
Oh yeah,
I see
he's
him
an OG.
all the time, OG. Yeah, Gorav, I mean, as long as we don't break the lows, if that's a genuine move, then I can see what you're looking at for sure, brother. So good luck there. And it is starting to continue to the top side. So that's absolutely beautiful for you. And as well as Google is moving. And once the Mag 7, we haven't looked at Microsoft since it had that absolute monstrous morning. Slowed down a little bit. The momentum slowed down. And I stated this before. It's been lagging its peers. And Sharif and I were talking about it the other day. It's just the capital expenditures through the roof on AI on this thing.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, with that, they're going to allocate their money in the right places. So I bet you whatever they're spending, it's going to pay off tenfold. So good luck there on Microsoft. If you guys were able to catch this earlier in the session as well, then good luck on you guys. So, but as of right now, okay. IBIT, let's go. Exactly what we're looking for on this one here, guys. So we put on a little bit of size here on this one because it was a little bit of a rough start for us this morning on some of the stocks on the midday show here, Sharif. So it's good here.
Sure.
So we'll see. We're gonna stick to something that has some strength, brother, and we're gonna stick to those. What do you got going on?
I'm just looking at VFS, man. It's not giving up the ghost. I was looking for a possible retracement off this 445 rejection, looking for maybe a move down, but now this current candle on the 5-minute chart, green, and essentially 2 pennies off the high of the day. VFS, we gave you that. We gave you the data of why it's moving up. It's a delivery story here. They delivered almost 22,000 EVs, strictly electric. No hybrid, no ICE. These are 22,000 electric vehicles in Q3. It's a big boy move. The market's rewarding them. 445 HOD. We're at 445 right now on the ask, 17.9%. Let's see if this one wants to reject it or wants to drop down. Rob EV, Redfin, 5-minute chart. Let's have a look. That's one we've traded on this show before. RDFN, 5-minute look. Ooh, nice breakout there. Still below yesterday's high. What was this yesterday, dude? So this is looking like a rounded bottom. Looks like we had a monster sell day. There was barely a bid yesterday. My goodness, we didn't find a bid until about 1 o'clock. Yeah, 105, literally. It had a nice big green candle there. Coming up into about 10 2/3. Right now is RDFN. This 1075 is the previous days, so not Mondays, but Fridays, consolidation area low. It had a big move Friday, looks like into the close there, but it gave it all back yesterday, and it made a new low on top of that. So it's a good look, man. Thank you for calling it out. Let's see what it's moving. Is it moving? What was this? Okay, so we had some Jeffries commentary today vis-a-vis Redfin, raising the price target from 750 till 1150, which implies, like, from the current price action, a 90-penny move. I don't know what percentage that is, obviously. But, yeah, Redfin, thank you for calling that out, keeping my eye on that one. What's this doing? CGC, now we're almost 10 pennies out of the money. If it doesn't hold 507, we're gone on this one. CGC giving up 520. I'm still keeping my eye on Donald John Trump because it reclaimed VWAP now. So multiple bottoming tail candles. And yes, they are actually bottoming tail candles on the 5 on DJT that breached VWAP, but now we're working our way right back above it. Look at these two bottoming tail candles. And what does that mean? You're wondering, what does bottoming tail candles mean? Well, just think about what this is telling you in terms of market action. It means that there was aggressive selling, but it was met with exuberant buying as well, hence why we didn't close at the lows. Rather, we closed, well, on this candle near the top. This one, not so much, about halfway. And then it's followed by a green candle over here. So if we get a nice curl off this level and get back into DJT, 34.58 HOD. It's at 33 1/3 right now. So just, about $1 and change off the highs. Good look right now for DJT. But VFS looks like it might be topping tail here. And then this will be an interesting entry here on VFS if we can, if it's not a pay for shorts type situation. Let's find out. No, it is a pay for shorts type situation at Real Trading. So I'm just going to hold off on this. I mean, it looks like it will mean revert. But by the time I get my shorts and stuff like that, the price action is probably going to have been gone. But anybody who can get their hands on shorts here, a nice move would be initially into 425, so 10 pennies from where we are. And then even better, if you can get into that 417. That's VWAP on VinFast. So nice move up, obviously, on VinFast. But now you've got a 3-candle red pattern on the 5. It's up 15%, but we'll see how good it can continue to do. Joe.
Yeah, good stuff there, Sharif. I got to ask you a question, brother.
Yes,
on the
sir.
report tomorrow, our buddy Justin in the back there, we play this game on big reports.
Like that.
So pump or dump on their announcement for Tesla tomorrow?
Look, bro, if Tesla doesn't beat tomorrow, I think they have to deliver about 400,000 or 500,000 cars in the quarter.
Okay.
There'll be a year-over-year decrease in deliveries, and they don't want that. That would be the first time they actually have a year-over-year decrease.
Okay.
So I don't know, man. Elon, look, he was cutting price. He cut prices today as well for the Model Y rear-wheel drive and Model 3 rear-wheel drive. He cut prices by about $3,000 or $4,000. So I don't think that's going to influence, obviously, because the quarter's closed. It's a good question, Joe.
So, you know what? That's a good fact, though. If he is cutting, then maybe he knows something that he's like, hey, we're missing these numbers, we're missing these deliveries.
Maybe.
Right? So is that kind of a precursor for what's coming?
It's hard to say, dude, because we know that the Juniper is right around the corner. That's the Model Y refresh. So the older Model Ys, they're dated, number one. Number two, a lot of people are waiting for that refresh. They don't want to spend $60,000 or whatever he's charging now on a dated model. So that's number one. Number two, these are rear-wheel drive models. And I don't know about, I can't speak for everybody, but on this side of the border, you're usually not getting rear-wheel drive unless you're getting a Stang or something like that.
Yeah.
Right? You need that all-wheel drive
all-wheel drive around here. Yeah.
I don't know, Joe.
Pump or dump?
Okay, you want me to go? I'm going to go pump.
Okay, beautiful. That's all we need. If you didn't answer, Elon, let's see, he's got the pump.
I'm going to go pump.
So that's it. I got the pump too, I think. I think I got the pump on good old Elon.
You got Donald John Pump?
Yeah,
Donald John Pump is pumping right now, baby. We're right back above 33.50, Joe, and we took out that 33.40 level I was looking at. We had a lot of chop and churn. Now we took it. Now we're on our way to 60, so we're recovering here off that VWAP breach. But yeah, that's what trading is. Funware curling up as well, guys. 12.50. PHUN off that $12 level. Those two, we're talking about them together because we're assuming they're moving in sympathy, and Donald John Pump is moving up here. So we're just going to go in, man. Whatever. Let's give this one a try. See what we get with Donald John Pump. Joe, what are you looking at?
Yeah,
oh, goodness, it's fire alarm.
Yeah,
again.
we're still here in IBIT, guys. It's starting to pull back. We just missed our target of 38.40s. So now we're just going to wait to see if this is just a pullback here, and then we can take another leg up on the top side with this here, which is, it's looking like it here. So I don't know if I'm going to add to this position just yet. I want to see that volume start to pick up, and then now it's starting to move, which is exactly what I kind of want to see. So yeah, that's good stuff there. Let's see if we can continue break this pivot high. And then potentially go for this pivot high, and then I think 38.50s can be potentially in the picture, guys. Yeah, JG keep putting. He keeps saying it. Yeah, it's like the fourth time today. So there you go. Yeah, you're killing us with that one. VinFast 30% short float, 4 days to cover. Yeah, I mean with that those high short floats. You can definitely get those squeezes on those looks too, guys. We have CGC starting to slowly pull back a little bit here.
Yes.
And I mean, like the pullback is relatively healthy from what's going on right now. You would want to see that selling pressure start to pick up a lot and see what we can do. I don't know if it's going to come and test VWAP any minute, but you're going to want to see the volume with the selling pressure start to pick up before you can continue with those shorts, I think, because of how strong this thing absolutely is. So yeah, let's talk some more DJT because that's absolutely what everybody's looking like, and Sharif's having a blast with that thing today. It's now back through VWAP, Sharif, trading to the top side. You're in it from 33.61, so top side, strong side. So yeah, good luck there, brother.
75 solid.
Yeah, 75 solid. So yeah, good luck there, brother. And yeah. Luca, options tell me a different story next time. Oh, okay. Joe, actually, the best bullish market direction might be NNW. I've never heard of this. What is NNW? Do you know of this, Sharif?
NNW?
Yeah.
No.
Let's see what that is. No idea what that is. So, yeah, we'll come back to that, guys. Keep telling us what you're looking at. We only have a half an hour left in the show. We talk some options, guys, but let me know what other strategies you're looking to employ for the earnings season. And we'll talk some more stock and options when we get back from Adara.
We're going to talk about the U.S. dollar, but we also did just get a story here. Keep an eye on online shopping-related stocks like PDD, AMZN, and SHOP. Seeing this report here that, again, is circulating around Twitter, so not confirmed, but apparently Shein, which was initially said to IPO soon, is now facing, quote, challenges in its IPO plans because it's facing some scrutiny here from regulators. There's also a decrease in the revenue growth, so 23% growth versus 40% last year, and apparently a 70% drop in profits. So Shein potentially having some issues with regards to their IPO, so keep an eye on PDD, AMZN, and Shopify's potential sympathy or antipathy plays. Now we have the US dollar, which is so strong here, set for its 4th straight green week and also its 15th green session on the day out of the last 17. So that would be only 2 red sessions out of almost the entire month of October. It's been a pretty light day for economic data, so not much to go over beyond a stronger than expected Richmond Fed number. It is worth noting, though, here, apparently we have markets pricing in 91% chance as of right now that the Fed will cut rates by 25 basis points during their next FOMC meeting on November 7th. It's actually on a Thursday this year, which is pretty unheard of, but they are going from Wednesday to Thursday, so November 7th at 2 p.m. we'll get that decision. Again, 91% chance of a 25 basis point cut, which is actually quite a stark difference from what we saw about a month ago. We had a 50.4% chance of a 50 basis point cut. Now that's basically been cut out entirely. We're seeing either 91% chance of a 25 cut or a 9% chance that they'll hold rates steady. We know we've seen some Feds saying they're cool with slowing the Fed cuts, including we had comments yesterday with regards to maybe slower than expected cuts from Logan, saying it's important to be gradual. Fed's Bostic saying he's comfortable waiting a month. So we'll see what the Fed does. But either way, worth noting, lots of strength in that U.S. dollar. If there's any tickers you're looking at with lots of strength or weakness, you only have 18 minutes left to vote. Get in that chat. Make sure you're a subscriber, !join, space, $, and whatever ticker you like.
Thank you very much, Adara. Appreciate that.
Space money sign.
Yeah, it's this one, Joe.
It's that one.
Guys, if you want the Katina Man and the Neil to look at the tickers as decided by you, I know I sometimes, not sometimes, I always ask the Katina Man what he thinks about this, what he thinks about that. That's because I have access to him. He's right next to me. This is your opportunity to ask him about what he thinks about the way you traded a stock or the ticker in general on the day. So get into the chat right now, vote for it. Ask Neil how he did on some of these small cap gappers that he traded today. We got Cal Mandu talking about Intel. We got Isaac Williams, NUW, the one that you were telling me about. We got, who else is talking about here? The Bruce talking about triple Qs. Isaac Williams talking about fun as well. Tony Price talking about DJT. Get into the chat and vote for it. Kenneth Zaw. Oh my God, I almost thought it was Kenneth Law. You know about that guy?
No, I don't know.
Oh boy. Okay, well, we won't mention it on the show.
No.
He's talking about Nvidia. The incredible Mr. Lib wants to know about Wolf. Get into the chat. Vote for your favorite tickers every day. It's only on the afternoon rundown that the big kahunas will look at it for you, so have your say every day. All right, let's look at what we're doing over here. We're in Donald John Trump, and we're in CGC, but CGC is now breaking down, so if it breaks down below this level, that's it, that we're going to have to hold this 505 area. It is now given up the ghost at the 10, and it is on its way to the 20. If it breaches the 20, that's the end of the trade. We'll keep an eye on CGC. I should tell you, 3M also curling back off that 132.20. It's at 132.80 now. Nice little curl up there. It's not the biggest move up, but it's a good look. Also, VinFast at 433 held up at the 10. There we go. Look at this 10 exponential hold up over here. Looking to go possibly back into that 445, but we'll keep tabs on this one, Joe.
Yeah, so we have a question from a pregunta from the real Mexican Joe. That's Spanish for a question.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, okay, he has a question.
Sure.
Anyways, CVS, what would I do there? So let's take a look at CVS via options. So 5680. What are you looking to employ? Like, kind of strategy you're trying to employ or work out here? So I don't know with CVS Health. If you're already in a position and you're kind of just holding on to a kind of bag holding, then maybe, I don't want to say sell some calls on this, but because you're probably not going to collect much premium. You could also buy, maybe if you're looking to get into it, you can buy some calls around 56.85, and then if it breaks 56.85, just cut your losses. But if you're looking for a bounce, you now have a definitive out there, so utilize that as an out. But as of right now, there's other things that I think you can look at. But if you're bag holding, look to mitigate that risk by selling some premium on that one there for sure. So yeah, hopefully that answered your question. Mexican Joker, Sonny, would you have better chance? Hit them directly with, okay, that's not a question. Sorry about that. Yeah, so Sharif, we're still holding on to IBIT here. I think we're going to take another leg up. It seems like we're slightly consolidating. And then if we can get some volume to step in, as you can see, it's starting to draw off a little bit here. So, but if we can go and break this, we can do like a nice, 4 or 5 bar play and do an ABC pattern to about 38.50 or 38.4s. So yeah, we're off to Adara.
Just keep an eye here on NFLX, which is actually here this is now day 3 earnings. We did just get a story here circulating on social media as well from the Wall Street Journal that it has backed out of apparently its plan to develop this video game, and we have laid off about 30 people that were working on this video game from, who've worked on games like Halo and God of War as a result. So small layoffs here for NFLX with this kiboshing these plans to work on that video game. Again, worth noting because we have extra volume on NFLX with day 3 earnings, actually over 1 million shares traded today. Again, that Wall Street Journal report. And we are brought to you here by eSignal. Thank you very much to eSignal for sponsoring this portion of the show. Trade smarter, not harder. Upgrade to an elite trading experience. Analyze, strategize, capitalize, foresee profitable opportunities with the platform you need. Infinite data and instant trading. Know where the market's moving before others with lightning-fast data. Charts that change the game. Customize and analyze markets faster your way. Better backtesting and scanning. Predict the future by understanding the past. Real-time reliable data. up to the second market info from hundreds of global markets, everything you need all in one place. Don't miss a beat. Execute your best trades now. Ready to elevate your trading? Scan the QR code or click the link in the description.
Thank you, Adara. All right, let's look at the situation here now. That's not what I wanted to do. Just get out of that. There we go. Yeah, am I in it? Yeah. All right, guys, the market's moving up here quite aggressively. There goes a futures break. We're only, I think, about 10 points or so off the high. And that high that we put in yesterday, that overnight high was yesterday, I believe at, I think that this is, what time is that? That's almost 5 o'clock there. Yeah, so this is an overnight high from 5 p.m. yesterday. So we haven't been at this level essentially all day. 20,544. We're at 35s. Look at the market squeeze. We went red to green today. So here's a look. The NQ and the Dow, they're positive now. The ES looking at going positive. It's barely negative 0.09. The Russell still taking it on the chin today, down about 0.25%, a little bit more. But the future, nice recovery. But is this just a bamboozlement or what? So keeping an eye on these stocks, keeping an eye on the Mag 7. I was biased for a short on Tesla. It shows you how much I know. This one definitely held up at the volume weighted average price a lot better than I anticipated, despite the fact that it was putting in lower lows and lower highs. It only takes one candle to bamboozle you, but we'll talk about that and much more when we get back from Adair.
Even more movers here, guys. We do have SPOT and DJT on watch. Spotify already got a pop earlier after Axios reported that it's working on an ad exchange with TTD. But now this one also on watch after Politico reports that Donald Trump is set to appear on Joe Rogan's podcast. This interview will apparently be filmed, according to this Politico report, on Friday. So DJT on watch as Trump potentially records a podcast with Joe Rogan, who is, of course, featured on here on Spotify, potentially being recorded on Friday. So keep an eye on SPOT and DJT. If these or any other tickers are on your watch, you only have 10 minutes to vote for them. Make sure you're a subscriber, then hit that chat. Exclamation point, join, space, $, whatever ticker. Thank you, Sherry, for putting up that beautiful animation. Back to you guys.
Right there. Thank you for reminding us, because sometimes I forget. Appreciate that. Yeah, it should be an interesting pod.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything with Joe is
Has he
a
been
great
on?
pod.
He's never been on Joe. He's never been on that one before.
Who,
right?
who, Donald?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think.
He
No,
hasn't,
he hasn't.
right?
No, he hasn't. No, maybe not. So, hey.
That's going to be interesting. Yeah, Joe's
He's
one of
always
the
got the
OGs.
best. Yeah.
Are you a pod guy?
I'm not the biggest pod
No,
guy, no.
I like Lex Friedman. He's a bit of a, you're going to have to really earmark 2.5 hours, but the dude dives deep into some of the, I was telling Brendo about him. Brendo's like, I got to take him in, bits and pieces because they're just so long. He has a bunch of stuff, man. He had a really good podcast with the guys that created Cursor. Cursor is like this AI website that you can talk to in layman's terms, man, and it writes you a program in Python. I know LLMs do that, but this is like solid, a lot better.
Solid, eh?
Yeah, Cursor is supposed to be the one. So he had the guys there, and they were having a technical discussion. He had Jordan Peterson on. The last one dives deep. They get into like.
I mean, Joe's had JP on, and
Joe's monster. I'm not trying to disrespect
No,
Joe.
not at all. Yeah. So Jordan Peterson's been on there. JG, okay, Joseph Rogan. JG says in the chat, it's his name. I mean, Sharif, the market is absolutely roaring here.
Yeah, man.
Starting to squeeze. Google is trading. IBIT is continuing higher as well too, and Nvidia is absolutely continuing to the top side. But this is absolutely crazy here. The volume is starting to pick up here on the lower time frames, and there goes the market. So I think Nvidia is definitely leading the way there. Let's see if Microsoft picked up some steam as well too, because if all these guys are moving in tandem, then that's exactly why the market is ripping. We were once down, we are now up about just under 2% on the session. So there's some good stuff there. Sharif, what do you got going on, brother?
I'm reading some of the comments in the
JG,
chat.
Why does JG always say it?
I don't know, but yeah, that was funny. But just some of the other comments. Come on, guys. All right, hey, to each their own. Let's have a look at what's going on here.
Oh, LMB photos.
Well, I don't want to call them out, but yeah, sure.
Too late. It's too late for now. It's
all
too
right.
late now.
Microsoft on the way up, guys. Everything really on the way up. But I'm looking at Tesla here, putting in a bit of a red candle at the 200 exponential on the 5. So is Nvidia. Nvidia's right back down into that closing print, 143.70. It touched 144 as a bit of an inverted hammer candle now, kind of a topping tail. Hasn't closed, obviously. He's got 3 more minutes before this one closes. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, I've been looking for a trade off levels, and this one would be great if it's set up. Like if we topping tail, and then we print a couple of red candles to the downside. I'm not going to jump into this super quick. I want to see it confirm. Apple's kind of got that same look right now, a bit of a topping tail through that 235 and a third. You know, it's back at the fifth of a dollar, but still a lot of time left before this candle closes. Same situation with Meta. Topping tail into 581.5. Now it's back to 580.5. So some interesting price action here. Let's not focus on the minutia, obviously, because these candles still are, you know, they're only 3 minutes old out of a 5-minute candle. But I've been looking for a trade on the Mag 7 because I feel like there isn't a whole lot to be had with some of these small cap gappers today. Let me just look at some of these ones. Are they running? No, there's really nothing new in small cap gapper world right now that on my scanner. So I'm gonna have to wait for this 5-minute candle to close before I jump in either way on one of these names. But yeah, there's been a nice little pump back up during the midday here on the market, taking the the NQ December contract back into green, Joe. Lots of stuff moving. Microsoft, guys, the strongest of the Mag 7 on the day, up 2.25%. I was looking for a reason why this monster was moving earlier. Didn't really see it. I was yelling to the big kahunas in the morning. I'm like, Microsoft's awfully strong, and it still is. It had a nice little, I just want to finish this idea, nice quadruple bottom here on the 5 at the volume weighted average price, and it moved right back up there. But we're going to get more information from Adair. What do you got for us?
We have the market on watch here as we get some comments coming out of the Middle East. We haven't had really any substantial comments for a little while here, but Channel 12 Israel is saying that the IDF has completed its preparations to attack Iran, and, quote, it seems that it will be ready within days. So within days, according to Channel 12 Israel, citing sources, the IDF could be striking Iran. Keep an eye on the market with that in mind, guys.
Hey, I'm looking at IBIT. We just took a little bit off the top here, guys. So we'll continue to look here, see what this asset's doing. Bitcoin's been absolutely strong. So hopefully we can start to hold some of these levels. So let's pull up some Bitcoin charting and look at the actual underlying. Because that's really important to see. Even though it tracks it, we still kind of want to see what this thing is up to. So it looks like it's since recovered, which is really a really good look. I like to see that. So, I mean, we still need to hold some significant levels on this thing. So let's see if we can sit up around 67 thou. We are around 67. So we're going to want to hold around 67, about just under 68. So let's see if we can hold these levels and continue. I'm looking for this thing to start to curl around a little bit. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong time frame. So yeah, sorry, about 70,000 we're gonna want Bitcoin to hold. And I think it can do that. As long as we don't pull back too much further, I think we take a nice, solid, healthy breath here, then we can continue to the top side, brother. What you got going on?
Yeah, I'm trying to short this Nvidia over here, but it's finding support at the $0.50. So it had a topping tail through the closing print, nice little red candle, but it's just finding support. So I feel like the market is destined to go to the upside here. So I'm going to flatten that one out and look to flip actually on that one. So we're going to go long on Nvidia here. I feel like the market's going to pump up a little bit. It's looking like that last little topping tail when Adair brought us that candle is getting bought back up. We'll see. I mean, it hasn't been the easiest day for me to trade today, whether it's small caps or some of these or large caps. Either way, it's just been a tough trading day for me. At least it's been that with small caps, because I can't actually say that it was a tough day for large caps because I wasn't on them as much and didn't have eyes on it. There was some good setups on the large caps you could have had today. So we'll keep our focus there, keeping an eye on Microsoft, keeping an eye on the futures. Apple's working right back into the high day again. So we'll see if this one wants to break that 235.38 level. It's coming into those pre-market highs that it put in. So we'll pack our patience to see if the market wants to elevate over here and push our Nvidia position a little bit higher. We'll have to wait and see. Possibly something in the 80s for me if Nvidia squeezes here, Joe.
Yeah, good look there, brother. I mean, CGC, so this thing was roaring to the top side earlier in the session. It's now starting to slowly crawl back towards the volume-weighted average price of VWAP. So we'll see if it can continue. Still up about just under 17% on the session, which is fantastic. And I seen a lot of people in the chat said they were in the low fours. So congratulations to you. Way to grab that. Let me know how you found it, anyways. Like before the volume stepped in, what made you lead? What led you to trading this? So those who I seen in the chat who were in at the fours, let me know what specifically you've seen, and then we can talk on that for sure. But as of right now, I think this CGC, the steam is slowly starting to die out. No more coal in the fire. So we're just gonna wait and see what happens here, if it can hold the volume weighted average price. But I think it does eventually crawl back to that, because we couldn't find a specific catalyst on it. So it could be rolling on something that we're not too informed about yet. But the chances are there's going to be something in, and it may be released a little bit later. So I mean, good luck on that, guys, for those who traded that. But we're still in this IBIT trade, and we're gonna hold on to it because it's working. So we had a really good entry here, exactly where we wanted to, consolidated, and then did a big push to the top side. So we're looking to see if we can get another consolidation and then another push to the top side. We only have about 50% of the position left, so we'll hold on to that for the remainder of the show. And that's about it, guys. Like, we got 12 minutes left in the show. So let us know what you're looking at. Let us know what options, trades you are potentially looking to set up for the upcoming earnings seasons, if you're into some strangles. But on Thursday, Sharif and I are going to be talking some iron condors, which I think we'll have some fun with that. But we're going to talk some more stock when we get back from Adara.
Goldman Sachs still more or less holding this consolidation range here, GS, but it's worth noting we got a bit of a volume spike as the Wall Street Journal reported that the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, or the CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, considering fining Goldman Sachs with regards to its credit card business. So GS credit card business facing a potential fine from the CFPB, as reported by WSJ, guys.
With the ad-libs.
Oh, goodness, that's not good there. Goldman, I know they were trying to get out of that whole consumer business too. Remember they shut their credit card business? Yeah. Because they didn't want anything. They just wanted institutional money and institutional love. They don't want no consumers. No. What are we going to do with these consumers? No, I'm kidding, of course. All right, we're in this our Nvidia trade, looking for this one to weasel up into the $0.75. It's really the only one that's not moving up, Ram. I mean, there's everything else is at highs right now. You got Amazon breaking highs, Apple's at highs. Microsoft's almost at highs, so there's not everything at highs, right? But we'll see if this one can break through that 70 penny area. A lot of chop and churn over here. You feel like it's like a bit of an equilibrium between buyers and sellers at this level on Nvidia. So we'll see if we can continue to rise up over here on this one and take out those 7s. Packing my patience, Mike. I mentioned Meta. Did I mention Meta? Meta's almost at highs as well, guys. 581.40. It's printing 20s right now. So strength coming into the Zuck train. All right, finally, Nvidia moving up here. There we go. Let's see if we can get 7s. We're long 59s. I'd like to get double 7s if we can. We'll pack our patience on that one. Tesla as well, moving up. I feel like there's a lot of chop and churn on Nvidia at these levels. It feels like we're being met with a koala selling. A lot of tape action over here with very little changing in the way of price. Yeah, interesting. I guess I chose the weak one here, but that's a look. Microsoft is curling up as well. We've mentioned this one umpteen amount of times on the day. MSFT, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it did a perfect VWAP hold, Sharif.
Yep.
Now taking that second leg to see if we can test the high a day here now and then potentially break that one. So that's a good look there on MSFT.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to get this thing out of the way so that we can just move it over. There we go, Joe. We got the fill there on Nvidia. We're doing really well on Nvidia now, guys. So happy. We're going to let this trade cook for a little bit. Nicely in the money now. Where are we long? We're long 58s. We just printed 85s. Let's see if we can work our way up into 144s. Oh, wow. 144.42 is the high of the day on the monster Nvidia. Everything is moving up. Meta took it out.
Everything.
Microsoft's at highs. Amazon at highs. Apple at highs. Get it, Katina, man. The future's at highs. The market is in a full state of pamp now. We're up 0.25% on the NQ December contract. Tell that to Nvidia. It's not ascending anymore, Katina, man, so I'm a little annoyed here. Tesla as well, looking to take out that local area top at 217.50. Good look on all the Mag 7 for whatever reason is happening. Say that again, Ram? The market knows it is Ram's birthday. Ram, I hope you got a lot of cash on your birthday because I know how much you covet that. Thou shalt not covet.
Thou shalt not covet the
So let's
cat,
keep
cash.
moving up over here on NVDA. Joe, if we can get something around 144s, we're still a little bit away from that right now. In fact, that local area top, Ram, we couldn't break 144s. Now we're dipping into the 170, low 173s here. We be clubbing? JD roaring on 20s. I like it. Steve Canyon. MSFT is on fire today. You're absolutely right, Steve Canyon. Shout out to you, my man. Tony Pricing. Happy birthday, Ram. Sold us wrong way. Exolo. Don't know what you're saying. Mary L. telling Ram happy birthday. Yeah, you're getting love from the chat, Ram, because, you know, they don't know how you really are. And so, you know, they're going to wish you a happy birthday. But if they really got to know you, would they wish you a happy birthday?
I would.
A little bit there.
regardless of the troll job, you're gonna get a happy birthday from.
Hey, even Joe's giving you love, man. And,
for today only.
Yeah. She's not even listening to us. She's talking to baby.
She doesn't.
It's all good.
Okay.
Amazon's gonna break 191, guys. She says she appreciates everyone except me. Thank you, Ram. I appreciate that. Yeah, Chilean Nightmare's like, yo, shots fired, bro. Guys, Amazon is at the high of the day right now, 190.98. It's about to take out that 191. Could we see that Bezos shelf come in soon? Who remembers that 200 rejection, the umpteen amount of rejections we got at 200? Where was that? Yeah, there it is, over here. That was back when? That was in, early July. We haven't been up at 200 since early July. Wow, that was a super long time ago. There it is, 191, excuse me. HOD on AMZN. This one's continuing to go, guys. So strength for the Amazon on the day, Joe.
Man, Sharif, it's honestly at any point with these Mag 7, it's literally by the dip with these guys. Like if you look at Amazon's daily, we'll pull up Amazon for you guys because Sharif just mentioned it from a daily perspective. Just like, I don't know, you can't. I heard Jim Cramer say this. These guys are essentially recession-proof. Amazon, right? They're walking anti-recession is whatever he said, but any dip buy that you can get on this stock, absolutely buy it. I remember when I was looking at Amazon earlier in the year and it was cheap and I'm like, do I want it at this? And one of the first options trade that I ever made was JPM calls and an Amazon calls, and those were absolutely fantastic. So, oh wow, Bebop 5,000. $20 to Ram. Super chat. Happy birthday. Okay, thank you. We are going out on the town with that tonight. Amazon is actually like that one. So all right, so we're going higher here on Amazon, guys. It's crawling. The Mag 7 are leading the way totally. So and this is what you get in the market. The SPY is now officially gone green. Up about 0.3% or 0.03% on the session. So, I mean, there we are, guys. This is it. The Mag 7, everybody had strong opening auctions. They are now taking that second leg. And with that, Sharif, the market continues to go higher higher and higher. And this is what we need, I think, in order for the Qs to make new highs, is you want to see everybody participating at once. And that's exactly what we're getting. We got Amazon, we have Google, we have Microsoft, we have Apple, we have all these massive market capitalization companies trading higher. And that is exactly why the market is dragging up and up and up. What do you got going on?
I just took out the top there at 85s on AMZN, so that trade is done as we're winding down the show. Live Life is not a fan of Amazon, says Amazon is nothing. All right. Possibly, you know, maybe it's, what's going on over there, Katina, man? Katina Man says Amazon is everything.
Everything.
Yeah, well, to each their own, guys. I personally don't have. Say it again. It's literally, well, they sell everything, Katina Man. You can buy VinFast. Speaking of VinFast, how's it doing? It held VWAP, so it's up nice 14% right now. We kind of let go of some of these small cap gappers. You had a little bit of bamboozlement blowing through the volume weighted average price, but you were able to reclaim it super quick. We're doing like a 4-candle hold up pattern at 430 for whatever reason, but we are putting in these higher lows. So VFS, possibly curling back maybe into that 450, 445 HOD. We didn't really have a news catalyst on this one to justify that midday move, but we did get that positive news catalyst earlier from VFS that they delivered about 22,000 cars. So who's going to disrespect that? That's a good look there. That's ahead of some of these Chinese electric vehicles, by the way. Guys, WULF is close to the high of the day. I mentioned this one earlier. It hasn't given you the most in terms of price action move, but it's been awfully respectful, Ram, of the 20 and the 10 exponential on the 5. Ram's always trying to get everybody in it on the green screen, man. Unreal. Trolling everyone, even Rob. Rob didn't do anything to anybody. He got trolled for no reason there. Shout out to Ram. It's her birthday, so she feels she's got like right to, just troll everybody around. Shout out to Ram. Ram, what did you get from the hubby on your birthday? She has an inkling she's getting the iPhone 16 Pro, but she's unsure. Can you tell us why you have this inkling?
I can tell you right now. She told them to get it for her.
Well, someone's speaking from experience right here.
The English, you told them this is what I want.
Say that again. Oh, it's either that or the Yves Saint Laurent heels, YSL heels, baby. So it's either a $2,000 product or another $2,000 product. So,
spender. And they just came back from
Saudi. Yeah.
So, you know what? Spoiled.
Well, look, man, it's her hubby. It's her birthday. He's going to spoil her. Shout out to Ram. We love her around here. We wish her a happy birthday. Fantastic look. Even though she trolls and gestures us in ways that we may not.
Oh, I don't even get me started with that, Adair. What did Sharif? Ram was gone. And Adara was gone, and Sharif, I'm going to get you in trouble.
I didn't do anything, bro. I don't know what you're talking
And Sharif was like, they're gone, so I'm going to take advantage of this. That's where I'm going to leave it. That's where I'm going to leave it.
She's not happy. Look, Ram, you're not here to defend it. It's open season, so I'll tell you the truth. You're lucky this thing's even here. Right? Last time she took it away and she put it back there to stare at us. Joe, it's 2 o'clock.
It's 2 o'clock. Our time.
2 o'clock. All right, guys.
Time flies, man.
Been a very interesting day on this market. The big kahunas are ready now, locked and loaded. I'm going to weasel my way onto the green screen, but it is Satya tomorrow on Wednesday. Joe and I will be back on Thursday, and he's going to be dropping hot lines about
Iron Condor.
So make sure to join us. Same bat time, same bat channel. Get it, big kahunas.
Yo, VinFast. No, just kidding.
That's what we do is we get it. I mean, we get lots of things. We're $3 in right now on Apple. We're 10 cents in on our SoFi position that we still have from the damn beginning. And we've reversed into a long now.